Hello, hello, hello. How are you? You good? I hope you're well, gang. We're here. It's a stream on a Saturday night. There's no late Premier League kickoff. Arsenal didn't bottle it. Spurs won. What the fuck's happening? I don't know, but we're here. Also, it's a good job this isn't... Well, actually, I was about to say it's a good job this isn't YouTube, but I am also streaming on YouTube. YouTube has a rule around streaming, or rather swearing, in the first minute or two of a video. So the VOD on this YouTube video is not going to get monetized. So if you're a live watcher on YouTube, I can see you guys. Hi, Chunks and Jordan, popping on in. Hello. You're the only people who may financially contribute to the stream today by getting ads during the stream itself. Gag, how are we? I've got my holy. And my koala. Someone asked, is Holy a British band? That was Mike. It's not a British band, Mike. Band. Imagine they were a band as well. They should be. It's German, is Holy. But obviously, you know what? It might be the best export from Germany since... Since who? I don't know. I try to think of something good that's... What's good in German? Bratwurst. We'll go with Bratwurst. You know what? We're playing football. We're playing Football Manager today. We're playing Football Manager. Let's just load up the game. Let's get me out of this hole. I fell asleep and missed the last hour of last night. What did you miss? We didn't do as much transfer business as I thought we would yesterday. We did bring in some new faces, but it wasn't that extreme. Hey, Marcus, I am doing very well, thank you, mate. I hope you're well, too. I hope you're well. Chat, I hope you're all well. I feel like I want to get back in the rhythm with streaming. And I feel like, you know, today Mark's doing it 2 days in a row. Maybe we're back. Don't call it a comeback yet. But, yeah, I think we're at a point in this Sega now where it's going to get a bit spicy. Because we're in the Asian Champions League. We did not sign any new fullbacks. Chat, I've got this issue where I've got £13 million in the bank. Whereas I can see the budgets on my screen there, but my head's covering them. I've got £13.5 million in the bank. Loads of wages, but there's just no one worth signing. Because I can't sign any foreign players because of foreign player rules. And the best Japanese players I can sign are like the backups of other J1 teams. And with respect to them all, there is a reason they're the backups. Also, I can hear the dog outside with a chew or something. I'd love for people to support their own team as much as they hate Spurs. Spurs is just a fun hate watch, though, isn't it? It is just a fun hate watch. Also, chat, my fan is not pointing at me correctly. The dog's going to come in shortly and I'm going to have to reposition it again. I have a fan which I wedge the door shut with, but it has to be at a really specific angle where it doesn't blow onto the microphone. This here, you can't see it normally. But so hopefully you can't hear the fan, because I want to stay cool today. Alright. Right. We are in the Asian Champions League this year. I actually don't know when the Asian Champions League starts, because I've not played in it since they changed the whole format in the last couple of years. Of course, if you missed it, the last final of the Asian Champions League, kind of in real life, was just now. Yeah, if you wanted to watch this competition take place in real life, literally just missed it. It was Al Ahly of Saudi Arabia who did win the competition in the final, although the team they played in the final was a team in J1, and that team was Machida, Zelvia. I think I'm saying that. Is it Machida or Makida? It's really tricky because with Japanese football team names, a lot of them take lots of European influence. So you have to guess which European language they're based on. Nathan, dude, thank you for 50 months of the tier 1, dude. I appreciate you. 50 months is a long-ass time. I hope you are well. It's very hot in my office under all the lights. It really shouldn't be. Is the skin command correct? No. No. Sorry, the Nightbot is lying to you there about the skin. The skin I'm using is the control skin, which has to be installed or is easiest to install via the Football Manager Skin Builder. If you search FM Skin Builder on Google, it will be the top result. It's a great little application you can download and run on your PC, and it allows you to almost one-click install skins in FM26, which is very much needed because they are a lot more complicated than they have been in past years. Fozzie, dude, how are you doing? Dude, thank you so much for the 40 months of the Prime. I appreciate you. Is Matoma still playing? Probably, but I don't think he's going to come to a newly promoted J1 team, unfortunately. I would love it if he would. How old is Matoma? I feel like Matoma's older than you realise. No, he's 33 now in the same game. He's playing for Roma. You know what? Don't think he's going to be joining us. Hey, Sean, I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. How are you doing? Also, John on YouTube, mate. Thank you for coming on in. How are you doing, John? First stream been able to catch in a while. Good to hear. Yeah, the last few streams, I have streamed a few times this week. They've been a lot later night than I would like. It's always really awkward, chat. We're at that point in the football season where there are like midweek games a lot. And as a streamer, it's always a bloody nightmare trying to work out what is a good time to stream where you're not going to clash with Champions League football or Premier League football or international football, but also is a time where I can still do my daily responsibilities as a dog dad and husband and keep the YouTube videos up. Am I planning to make a WTCS skin in the future? No, I'm afraid not, Marcus. Skinning this year is very limited. I personally don't have the time to invest into learning the new skinning system. Like, it's one of those things, chat, where I play Football Manager for a living, which I'm blessed to do, but skinning would take me tens, if not hundreds of hours to learn, and it's just one of those things where when I'm finished doing videos in my kind of day job, the last thing I want to do is spend more time working on Football Manager stuff. I feel like it's all about finding that healthy balance. Yeah, if you heard Milo barking, then I don't know what he's barking at. I don't know what he's barking at. Got your father-in-law's 70th birthday later today. Oh, enjoy that. Send the big man my regards. I mean, I'm sure he really appreciates birthday regards from a 32-year-old British bloke. Are there previous confidential football? I think you mean continental. I don't think so, no. I actually think the season preview stuff that WTCS added for like cup competitions was literally one of the best features added to the game. To the point where I have told people at Sports Interactive that they should include that for all competitions. Like having a Media Dream 11 for the Champions League and like for national competitions like the World Cup and even like youth international competitions is just like quite good, I feel like, for world building and kind of knowing what's going on and like who the standout players are, especially outside of that kind of bubble of your own league. I don't know about anyone else. When I get kind of 10 years into a Football Manager save game, I don't spend that much time looking at like all the other big teams around Europe and who their like teams are and who their star players are. Like every so often you'll have like a regen score 4 against you in the Champions League knockouts and you go, who the fuck's that? And then you click on them and realise they're like the best striker in world football and you just had no idea they existed. Have we checked the coefficient? It's 0. It is 0. We have no coefficient points yet. It's a big day tomorrow, chat. It's a huge... Do you know what tomorrow is, chat? Tomorrow is Milo's birthday. Can I get an ooh for the dog? Woo! We're going to the beach. That's how he's going to spend the day. We're going to go to the beach. He had kind of a birthday cake today. It was like mashed potatoes, minced chicken, dog biscuits, carrots and broccoli. And like in a mound. It did look like a cake and it did have a candle in. Obviously, it did have a candle in when he ate it. But he bloody loved it. Really sure to get to iPhone 26 when it launches. Is it worth giving it another go? It has improved a lot, Marcus. I feel like if you've not yet bought the game, try out the demo. Can anyone let me know, is it possible to have a retro database with someone else online in my save? If you're doing a multiplayer save game, as far as I'm aware, custom databases should work with it, yes. We have won the Oceanic Champions League, the Blade Boy. We are in the Asian Champions League for the first time ever in this save game. But we have only just been promoted to J1. We managed to win the major Emperor's Cup kind of domestic competition in Japan as a second division team last year. So it's going to be a bit fun, this. We've got our first game against Vissel Kobe in the league coming up. Our first J1 game as manager. Obviously, Vissel Kobe have a bit of a Spanish affinity historically. I don't know how much that still holds true now. But they had a few different players head over, didn't they? Over the years. Is Ethan Williams going to be fit to start the year? Probably not. I'm very excited. So last stream we picked up Diaco as a new foreign player, who I think is a bit of a baller. I also picked up Akuneto, who is a really, really good deep line playmaker, minus the fact he's only got 11 passing. I do feel like, chat, this could be me overcooking. I do feel like there's some attributes in Football Manager that could be broken down more and some that could be grouped up more. I almost feel like attributes need to be reworked in Football Manager. And what I mean by that is there's like some modern footballing terminology that just doesn't fall under an umbrella. And like, for example, there's some attributes which I think lack granularity. So like in my mind, passing should have like different facets to it, like passing accuracy, long passing, short passing. Finishing could probably have, you know, stuff like... Finishing should probably be a combination of like shot power, shot accuracy. Balance should probably come into finishing in terms of being able to, you know, steady your feet and get a shot away. I always feel like, for example, like stamina, work rate, arguably like aggression, anticipation, like all these things feed into pressing. Like there should probably be something that quantifies how good players are at pressing, for example. I guess that's the most obvious example. And I feel like there could just be a bit more. I feel like Football Manager is a bit dated in this regard. Yeah, finishing could have stuff like one-on-ones, but then should composure feed into it? Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, like, some of these, like, overlap in a weird way. I feel like you could get rid of some, have some that merge together. Basically, chat, I do wonder if this polygon, in the same way you have, like, defending physical speed and whatnot, could there be a bigger polygon that has, like, pressing on it? And pressing is the aggregate of stamina, work rate, tackling. Could you have finishing rather than just attacking? You could have, like, attacking movement be a thing, and it could be off-the-ball anticipation, maybe composure decisions, maybe pace feeds into it a little bit. I don't know. I feel like there's, like, terms we use very commonly in football to, like, refer to what players do that are not aggregated very much in Football Manager. I don't know if I want them to touch the polygon, because my muscle memory knows the polygon as it currently is. But I just feel like there's, like, more that could be done there, you know? Like, finishing and passing are ones for me where, like, there are some players who are really good in tight spaces at getting passes out their feet and short passing. And then there are some players that can ping a pass across the pitch. But, like, how do you differentiate those two players? I'm not really sure how that's differentiated right now in Football Manager. Do you know what I mean? Like, something for aerial duels could be like jumping reach, aggression, bravery, heading. Like, you kind of aggregate them all together. And I know they're kind of already aggregated. I've clicked on a goalie there, which is the worst example. Like, you already have, like, aerial, for example, here. But I feel like you could almost have a scorecard where you have, like, 10 attributes that are like them... Maybe not 10. You could maybe have like 10. Maybe 10. Like 10 different skill sets for a player. Aerial, duels, pressing, finishing, passing. And they could be made up of lots of stuff within them. I don't know. I don't know how it would work. You know, I've not really thought about it. The good thing is, chat, I'm not a video game designer, so I don't have to worry about these things. I just think about them and go, that would be a good idea. Then I don't actually think out the idea at all. And it could just be a shit idea, or I could be asking for the impossible. We're not at the minimum squad size, because I have lots of young players here. In fact, it looks like loads of players... Wait, I'm unregistering players there. What am I doing? I need to register some players to hit the minimum player limit, because I've got so many players under 21 that don't need to be registered. I have to include to them to hit the requirements. While it makes sense, that's also asking researchers to be more granular in their ratings. Yeah, potentially, Minty. I kind of feel like a lot of like attribute stuff is made up by researchers anyway. And I do feel like some of it could be aggregated just based on what's already plugged into the game. Like aerial duels and pressing, I think everything's already there for them. Pragmatic Frog. Mate, your username reads like a retro Xbox gamer tag and I love it. Play up Pompey. How did Pompey get on today? Dude, I appreciate the sub though. Jay Patton, 6 minutes of the prime. Spurs down, Arsenal bottle, double confirmed. Ooh, maybe. Oh, chat, I kind of am a bit afraid that after everything, Spurs are just going to be safe and we're all going to be sad. Also, Psykill, dude, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. Good luck with your MFL Cup games, mate. The beat Stokeway. Pompey are in form. OKD, I am using the control skin, yes. Right. We're in J1. It's first game of the season. I have my best 11 saved. Although this isn't my best 11. We've changed it, haven't we? Chat, I've made what might be an unpopular decision amongst the chat. Fabio Ferreira is more of a backup. I feel like when we first came into the club, we got really overexcited by him because he could jump high. But I have had this recent revelation that with 5 foreign player spots in the match squad, he's just not good enough. Like, if I compare him with Mbamba as a centre-back... I'd like to issue an apology to the Fabio fan club, because I know he does have his fans. I'll be honest, chat. I watched the Spurs game today. Of course, completely legally, I was there in the ground. There's no other means by which I could have possibly watched that football match. Spurs were time-wasting in the corner against Wolves in the 96th minute. Which, you know what? Fair enough. Do what you need to do to win. It's the most tin pot fucking mentality ever. Like, I don't mind time-wasting in the corner in, like, the 91st or 92nd minute. You're doing it in the 86th minute! In the 86th minute against the team who are bottom, you are time-wasting in the corner. I was fuming. I was angry on behalf of Wolves. Okay, by the way, first game of J1. Big moment for us. We're taking on Vissel Kobe. Their key man is Marlon, who, I'm going to be honest, he doesn't look that intimidating. I feel like, right, we won the cup last year. I don't want to jinx it. I think we can do quite well in the league. Did I not watch the LFC game? I have 3 screens, my friend, and 2 eyes. Oh, sorry. No, chat, I had it on the radio. Because I couldn't watch these games. So good time wasting's an art. That is true. I think it's because it was Richarlison doing it as well. It just made it more annoying to watch. Oh, chat, the dog's here. Milo, it's the birthday boy. Hello. How are you? Why do you look so happy? Hi. I got you. I caught a dog. How are you? Are you good? We've got to duck a little so the stream can see you. How are you? He hates being in my lap, chat, if I'm sat down. But if I hold him like this, he's just chill. How are you? Are you good? You and look at the stream? Yeah? You okay? Oh, you want to go... Okay, yeah, I'll put you down. Sorry. You're the one who came in here. Are you going? Bye, buddy. He comes in here, then he decides within 2 minutes, he's like, oh, shit. He comes in and goes, shit, it's boring. None of my toys are here. There's no shoes here, and he's at his desk. He has got big. He's a mini schnauzer, but he didn't get the memo on the whole mini thing, and he's bloody tall. He's got the long legs. There you go, chat. There's the daily dose of Milo. Yeah, he was smaller when we were doing the streams 8 months ago. All right, let's get into this, folks. First game in J1. Does J1 have any fancy custom graphics like the Premier League does? I think I know the answer is no, but because, you know, like Sega are Japanese, I was kind of hoping they might, you know, go all out. Also, chat, this is the first time using this skin we're going into a match. And I think there are some little UI changes. Right, Vargas is the boy, by the way. Signed from Uruguay at 19. Also, the fan's now not pointing at me. Oh, they've got Sufanat Muenta out on the wing. We love that. We love that. Okay. Bloody hell. Some of our players are so tall, their heads are nearly clipping through the bloody ceiling. Okay, Vargas is the boy. Vargas is the man I really believe in here, chat. Also, Quieto's in the team, even though I tried to sell him. Because no one wants him. And he's told me he's leaving at the end of his year. At the end of the year. Beerzeps, mate, thank you for the prime. I'm really sorry I missed that during the dog segment. And also, Harry, mate, thank you for the prime as well. Shout out to everyone giving me Jeff Bezos' money via the Twitch Prime. I do appreciate it, gang. We're back in the streaming rhythm. We're chilling. Vargas, it was on a plate for him. Why are you cutting it back? Quieto, Mori, Akinetto. That's the new defensive mid, isn't it, from Nigeria? What was his first name? His first name was fun to say. Chat, can we just call him Favour? Can I just nickname him Favour? It's just a great... Imagine having the first name Favour. From height alone, I could tell we're set piece FC. We are a little bit. We are a little bit set piece friendly. Chat, I really like this skin. Is that an unpopular opinion? I kind of wish that somehow these pictures were in the middle of the screen. But I don't know how that would work. You'd have to have the latest scores on the left, and I think that would look weird. I kind of wish the stats were in the middle, but that's just because I don't like change. Hey, Boise, how are you doing, mate? Are you good? How are you? I just want to win our first game in J1. We're at home as well for it. I mean, the thing is, Vissel Kobe, I probably should have checked where they finished last year. Historically, I feel like Vissel Kobe are pretty bloody good at that football sport thing. Oh my gosh. Keeper. Keeper's the one position I wanted to improve this year, and I just wasn't a player I could sign for it. Is there many more? There's about, I don't want to give a number. I'd say there's less than 10 custom skins out there that are, like, unique. It's still very much in its infancy, skinning in this new engine in Football Manager. And it's not really possible to do overhauls. But we can move stuff around that's already in the game and kind of change the colours. I feel like it just makes the game feel a bit fresh. Right, I think that's an okay first half. So I'm going to tell the players I'm happy. Chat, I need Vargas to like be an absolute baller this year. He's 19, perfectionist personality. I don't want him to be too good because he's got a release clause. But I want him to do something. I want to see Favour perform. I want to see Diako. Diako's from Senegal. Favour's from Nigeria. Vargas is from Uruguay. I tell you what, we've already collected players from every corner of the world ahead of the new season. You know you've made it to the big time because you just start signing foreign wonder kids from Generation Foot. Is that the club who had Juan Mata last year? Was Juan Mata at Vissel Kobe as well? Vissel Kobe have a history of having Spanish teams. I feel like Mata has been in Australia for a couple of years now. But I think he was in Japan prior to that. Oh my word, Mbamba was at centre mid, now at centre back. He's going on a wander. Where's he going? Where's it? Man's going to the woods. Oh my chat, that's my centre back. What are you doing, Mbamba, you nutter? What? I know last year was my box-to-box playmaker. Oh, don't rule it out. There's bloody VAR in this league. It's woke. Never mind, the goal's awarded. We love it. The play is great here. Mbamba. And then Diako. Diako, he's just landed on the plane from Generation Foot. Oh, chat, because I'm playing on the new update, the lines are actually drawn in the right place. 10 out of 10, best update ever. For people who don't know, for ages I've been stuck on an update pre-winter transfer update because my mod that applied regen faces was basically broken by the update because they added in some new hairstyles and it changed all my players' faces, which in Park to Prem I didn't really want all my players' faces changed. Yesterday I spent 5 hours manually creating a face pack that applied all the old faces to my players in the game, so that I could update the game. So I'm now on the latest update for the game. That's why we can do some custom skinning stuff. And in Park to Prem, I had to like manually assign 30 faces, like find them in my face pack or try and get a cutout from a video if I can do the alternative. It was a lot of work, but we are now up to date, and hopefully now I will never have to do that process again, because it's like playing a really shitty game of Guess Who, when you've got the face pack that you've downloaded with all the different photos in a folder, and you're trying to find the photos of players that you need. Also, we probably should make some changes here, because I've not made any subs, and we're nearly at the end of the game already. We'll bring in Show, we'll bring in Kamiya, and you know what, Vargas is coming off as well. I'm going to bring in Shimada. Shimada has the mentals of a baked bean, but he can run really quick, which, as a sub, I love. I'm trying to chat. Who was a striker who was all pace and has no brain? Imagine Adama Traore, but not quite as muscly. And like doesn't lube up his arms to be slippy. That is basically Shimada. They call him the Japanese Adama Traore. Oh my word, Diaco, finish it! It was a chance. It was a chance for him to score again. Hey, keep the dream alive. Dude, how are you doing, my friend? Are you well? How many people, chat, have seen Munoz's goal for Palace today? I'm conflicted on it, and I don't know if it's just because I'm biased as a Liverpool fan. Because I am partially of the mindset of play to the whistle, and I feel like if Munoz had been going for the shot and it goes in, it's kind of whatever. But I don't like the fact he looks up, sees the keeper's on the floor injured, and then just shoots anyway. Like if he shot and hadn't looked up or hadn't noticed, but it's the fact I don't think he goes for the shot unless he sees the keeper on the floor. But am I just a fragile, biased Liverpool fan? I feel like from a general premise of just footballing fair play, there's like an unwritten rule that if a keeper's injured on the floor, you do just put it out. But it's an unwritten rule, so I guess you can do whatever the fuck you want, really. And who am I to complain? Like, I feel like it's unsportsmanlike, but like, it's also play to the whistle. It's one of those things where I just think you're a bit of a knob, but fair enough. But you're still a knob. And at the end of the day, all it did was ruin my fantasy football clean sheet. So, you know, the wider consequences aren't that bad. Time to start time wasting. Well, because we're in the 86th minute. Chat, we're beating Vissel Kobe, by the way. Only official stoppage for an injury is when a referee stops for a head injury. See, the issue with that is Palace had a player get a shoulder injury when he fell over earlier in the game and the ref did stop the play for that one. And like I said, chat, I totally understand it's like if there's a head injury or a serious injury. The rule actually, chat, did you know the rule is not a head injury? If you actually read... Kamiya scored a banger. Chat, the actual rule is not a head injury. Do people know this? If you look at the laws of the game, it does not say head injury anywhere. I can't remember the exact wording, but it's essentially implied a serious injury, which 9 times out of 10 is a head injury. But in the actual laws of the game, head injury is not the discretion for the ref to stop play. There's a fun fact for you today that you probably didn't know and probably don't need to know, really. Which is what makes it a bit more problematic for me. Because I think people think of it as, oh, you can only stop for a head injury. That's not the rule. I think it's like, it'd be a bigger talking point, wouldn't it, if it had dictated the game, I suppose. But yeah, I don't. If you haven't seen the incident, you'll see it on Match of the Day later. Maybe I'm more pissed off about it because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I feel like I'd feel a bit scummy if our player scored that goal. As a Palace fan, only Munoz was doing that. I did hate the fact he celebrated it as well. I don't know, chat. Maybe I'm fragile. I'm not sure what Palace fans think about it. I mean, at the end of the day, it didn't really change the result of the game. Unfortunately, the keeper wasn't too... the keeper could continue playing, so, you know, whatever. But I didn't love it. It made me not want to put Munoz in my FPL team next year, put it that way. MW90, are you the MW90? You DM'd me on Twitter and I ignored it earlier, and I'm really sorry. I was out walking the dog and I was going to reply to you after the stream. Mate, thank you for subbing with the Prime. I do appreciate it hugely. Thoughts on the fans' behaviour towards Munoz after throwing the ball at him? Funny. I mean, chat, if a fan had thrown like a lighter at him or a coin at him, I think there's outrage. I do think when you throw a football at a professional footballer, it's quite funny. But again, maybe that's because I view it through a bias. I'm fully aware. Like, it's petty enough. I think it's kind of just a funny thing. I kind of feel like if you're scoring an open goal with a keeper on the floor injured, you're probably signing up to get a bit of it back. Munoz didn't make a big thing about it, to be fair to him. Chat, Pohang Steelers have made me an offer. I don't know why Pohang Steelers is just a fun footballing team name. Right, they're 4th in K1. Chat, I could get a job at a top Korean team here. Are Pohang that top? They finished 2nd, then they finished 4th. And they're about to finish 4th again. So they're not that good. If this had come a year earlier, I might have taken it. But it's come a bit late. They want to steal you. Very good, chat. Can I just say, chat, puns, jokes and puns like that I'm all about. Right, chat, Vissel Kobe last year finished 3rd. We've just battered them 3-0. And now we get to take on Niigata in our next game. Have I rested up the players? I haven't rested up the players. I'm going to decline the interview. I do appreciate the offer. MW90, I think you asked me in your DM for feedback on the skin or just like some thoughts on it. Is it better for me to write them down, or if I reel some off now, will that be okay? I hate being like, I talked about it on stream yesterday when I was trying the skin for the first time. I hate like going, I want it like this, because I feel like there's a difference between I don't think this works and I would prefer this. Because there are some things that are a matter of preference, and then there are some things that are actual kind of design decisions where I think there's like, you know, a good or bad. And I hate it when people give feedback and their feedback is just, in my opinion, this. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I made the skin for me. Right. Chat, what is this formation? Oh, just remember, these guys were promoted with us last year, and they're fucking nutters. They play with 4 attacking midfielders, 1 striker, and I can't remember, I think out of possession they go to like wing backs. I need to check. Chat, what is this? Like, until this year, if you played this formation in Football Manager, you were a nutter. With out of possession formations, it's like slightly more normal, but it is a little unhinged. What is that? They're cooking. I don't know why, chat. I really got used to the scoreboard being in the middle in FM26, and it's messing with my muscle memory at being in the top left, even though it feels wrong, even though most score bugs in world football are in the top left. Oh, Diaco. Put it on a plate. Vargas, he's arrived from Uruguay. Come on. Now, just to be clear, Niigata here, who were promoted with us last year, and we did batter them twice, I think, in the league. So this is one of those games where we probably should be winning it. But let's get the momentum. Let's get the momentum. Let's get the good vibes going and go from there. Also, chat, we haven't talked about the York-Rochdale drama. That was fun as well. My favourite thing about that was looking through various Reddit threads where there was one single person who was adamant the ball hadn't gone across the line for the goal for York. Which is kind of fair enough, except from the fact that the player who blocked it on the line had punched it off the line, so it should have been a penalty if the ball hadn't crossed the line, even though I think it had. The National League is such a fun league, though, in real life. Obviously, Rochdale and York have kind of shone a spotlight on it, but as someone who went, that's not in the box. As someone who went to a lot of Bromley games when they were in the National League, it's just fun. It's like raw enough that like really talented players stand out. if that makes sense, which I think makes football more fun when players aren't all told to play like robots and there's like a bit of a, you can really notice the golfing quality between certain players. As an Oldham fan, I'm glad Dale lost. Also, if they hadn't invaded the pitch, they'd have won. I don't think it was over the line, but who cares? I mean, chat. I don't really blame the fans for pitch invading in that context. But I do feel like in that context, the referee's kind of right to go, right, we're playing a fuck ton more. I don't know actually how much they played. I didn't count it. It was great TV. It was basically an Aguero, Man City moment into a reverse Aguero Man City moment. The National League North had two teams that played each other, both get relegated on the last day. Did they draw against one another? That's pretty fun. We've had one shot in this game. We've actually not been very good. Tom, dude, how are you doing? Like most months, I'm just here to give you my prime. Gonna head back to catching up on the VODs. Dude, I appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. Can I say, chat, I've been very sporadic with streams lately. And if you struggle to keep up or you've fallen off of the same game, I totally understand. I am really endeavouring now to get back in a routine with streaming. I've had a load of stuff going on for like the last month or so that's just been a bit nightmarish and a lot to juggle and kind of deal with. I'm now in a spot where I can be a bit more consistent with the streams and stuff. And I appreciate all of you guys who have stuck it out through the hiatuses in content. If you've kept your subs going, I hope you've been enjoying the video content on YouTube still. With the streams been a bit more sporadic, but we are going to get back in the groove now. And I feel like this save game suddenly got some momentum. I'm very excited to play in the Asian Champions League this season. Okay, so the teams at the bottom of the National League North played each other on the final day. They both got relegated because they drew. I'll tell you what, I hope the extra time in that game was like a case of they both knew they had to win to stay up. Probably like the most entertaining end to a football match ever in terms of two teams just desperate for a goal and neither of them wanting a draw. It was Curzon Ashton v Alfreton. I'll have to check that out later. That sounds funny. Right. Do I want to change anything here? I mean, we're an hour in. We've not been bad in this game, but we've not been very good. The question is, is it a case of fresh legs, or do we change it up? I'm actually thinking that in possession we go more direct. I bring in Iber, play him as a centre forward, and then bring out Vargas. I know he's just scored, but we bring in Shimada. We played two strikers who were just really, really bloody quick. Kieto's been awful again. We'll bring in Sho Akamura, who is one of our better players. Akineto, the new Nigerian lad, has been really poor. I need to try and give Ikeda here game time because he's 18. He's got caps of Japan's under-21s. He has the potential to be really good. He's not that big. Like, he's really small and he can play centre-back. He's definitely a playmaker. This is one of those moments, chat, where I wish mentality still existed because I kind of want to tell these two guys out wide just to drop deeper a little bit. I suppose that's the whole point in out-of-possession formations, isn't it? Have you got a link to a Discord? It's discord.gg/workthespace. That is the official Work the Space Discord. That link should still work. If you're on that Discord, you can sign up to get notifications for streams as well. So if you ever find yourself missing streams, we've scored again. I'm a genius. Shimada and Alba, the two strikers I've just brought on, have assisted and scored. We're so good. But yeah, if you want to get notifications for the stream, there's a user group to sign up for stream notifications on Discord. I'm a bit bad for this chat. I'm not always on Twitch. And very often, I miss out on people's streams who I actually enjoy watching the streams just because I don't see the notifications and I'm just not on Twitch at the right times. Whereas if you're on Discord and you want to catch up with the streams and keep up with the streams, there is like a user group you can sign up to get notifications. So it is a pretty good way to keep up to date. Also, if I'm having one of those days where the stream goes down 20 times, you get a notification every time it goes down. So, if you're out, living your life, your phone's going off a load, and people will think you're really, really cool, even if it is just my Discord over and over spamming you saying I'm streaming. So, you know, if you want to look cool when you're living your life and look Mr. Popular, the Discord and the streamer user group is the place to be. Imai scores. That's not good goalkeeping by Nakano. It's not great. Nakano is the one man I'm really not sure about in our team. Like, I mean, he's big. And he's got experience. That's a kind way of saying he's old. I also feel like in Football Manager, you're a bit silly if you just watch the key highlights, watch the keeper make a miss like that, and then go, well, the keeper's bad. And maybe this is just me. I know some people swear by, like, what happens in the match engine. I see it with YouTube comments a lot where people go, your goalie's crap, replace them because of this moment. I feel like goalkeeper saves are just always... They always make keepers look incompetent if there's a goal past them. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of times when you see a goal going and you think, what's my keeper done? I feel like you have to almost pretend that the animation you've seen is not relevant at all. Kofi! Oh, the 6'7" beast. Hey, inmate dude, I appreciate the love. Glad you've been enjoying Park to Prem. Chat, I need to work out what we're doing after Park to Prem. I've still not figured it out. I was hoping the World Cup mode would, like, be a thing and we'd have international football. I definitely want to do some World Cup content. I've got an idea for a stream, but it could be bloody dreadful. Oh, Diaco's got injured. No. If that's a bad injury, I'm fuming. Because this guy's had a really good start to the season. But, chat, I want to do a stream where we see how many times I have to save scum to win the World Cup with Curaçao. And the stream will not end. I will start the stream and we will just be simulating the matches over and over, with the exception of the final. I have to win the final playing it as Curaçao manager. And we see how many save scums it takes to win the World Cup. I have no idea, like, how many it's going to take. It will probably be just me having a mental breakdown. But I think it could be quite fun. I could be going for weeks. Like, genuinely, I have no idea. The first game of the group stage for them, I think, is Germany. Do you just sack off that game and go, well, we'll try and win the other ones? I will say, chat, I will play the final. I think we do have to, like, instant result all the prior rounds. And I'm allowed to save at every round, I think. I don't think it's possible without save scumming individual rounds. If someone wants to stream them doing it themselves and prove me wrong, please do. Diaco's out for 2 months. Okay, chat, you know what's funny about this? Right? Diaco's injured. Do you know who this means gets to play? I can't believe it's actually going to happen. Yang! The Chinese bloke we signed, and I don't really know why we signed him. Yang is going to play on the left. Welcome, Yang. He did not think he was going to be... Well, actually, maybe he did think he was going to be playing because his squad status being very high. Also, this first half of the season... this first month of the season, there was loads and loads of matches, which is a bit problematic. Yang's skill set is he can run quick and has 15 crossing. I don't know if that's necessarily the skill set needed for many positions, but as a winger, I think it can work. Right, we're taking on S-Pulse next. You know what's weird? Having all the Japanese teams have their actual names. Because for years they didn't have their real names. I'm trying to remember what S-Pulse's name was before they got the real names. They had a funny name. I'm trying to remember. For some reason, it sticks out in my head as one of the names that was funny when they weren't licensed. I can't remember. Also, chat, I really need to fix the bot on Twitch, which is constantly spamming about the custom skin, which is not the correct skin. So I think Yang plays on the left, and then Ethan plays on the right. That's how we'll play. But Williams isn't fit yet. which means Camilla probably starts right mid. To be fair, Camilla's got a goal and an assist on off the bench. He scored a banger in the opening game, so I don't mind bringing him in. You know what makes me happy, chat, about this skin? And it's a little thing. Seeing player faces on the tactics screen, and also, like, at the bottom of the screen during matches. Like, I'm a simple man. It just makes me happy. Okay, Vargas is improving. This guy has perfectionist personality. Loads and loads of potential. And he's 19. My concern really is, right, he's got a release clause and it's very small. Someone remind me that in, like, a month's time we need to try and get him on a new deal without the release clause. I'm currently doing my own part to Prem with Chester Le Street. I'm down in 12th in the Enterprise North after 23 games. Predicted 18th. Oh, what league are Chester Le Street in? I feel like I've played against them in Park to Prem. It might have been the Towler Town Park to Prem I played them. The skin I'm using, Minty, you need to download through the FM Skin Builder. If you search FM Skin Builder, it's a standard. It's like a program made by a guy called Lotsgon, Tom, who might be in the chat. He's a very, very intelligent man. He's basically created an app that creates a means by which you can download skins and apply skins as single clicks. Because in past FM's chat, you'll know you like had a skins folder, right? You could just put a folder in that's a skin. Whereas now for skinning in Football Manager, you have to overwrite bundle files that are like in the base game, which makes it very, very complicated because you'll be overwriting like 11 different files to apply a skin. Whereas his software basically allows you to install skins with like a single click. And also uninstall them with a single click. So you can try out different skins through like his program. And create your own skins in it as well, although I've not delved into that yet. Never say never, but I don't know if I've got the time. Just in the streets about 15 miles from Towler. Okay, that's why I know the name. Although, chat, can you remember Park to Prem with Towler where for one season we got put in like the Devon Regional League? That was funny. I did a skit with Sandra. Oh god, I missed the skits. Take me back. I actually do miss doing the skits for videos, but when I was doing them all the time, a skit would take longer to like plan, record, and actually make funny than the actual episode. And ironically, I'd spend more time in front of a green screen than I would actually playing Football Manager. Maybe I need to bring them back next year. Maybe enough times passed that it'd be cool to bring them back. Do you know what I mean? Maybe we have a year off away days and have the era of the intro come back. Oh, Minty's updated the skin. He's so the command for skins. I'd chat. I don't know if there's any other mods here. Not Nightbots here. But Minty might be on course to win Mod of the Year at the Work the Space Streamer Awards. There isn't a Streamers Awards, but we probably should have that. Even Jack, who do you think will go down from the Prem? Chat, okay, this is mental, right? And please don't clip this and bring it back to me. I think Leeds are going to go down. I think that this season might be a season where 41 points is what you need to be safe. And I can see Leeds losing to West Ham on the final day to go down on like 38, 40 points. This is a bit where someone goes, well, actually, Leeds are already on 41 points and I've not followed the league table correctly. But I don't know if 38 points is going to be enough this year, which is wild. That is a very spicy hot take, and it might age horrifically. And I don't want Leeds to go down. I just feel like it'd be such a killjoy moment having had everyone lusting over the thought of Tottenham or West Ham going down. Camilla's missed an open goal. To have Leeds go down. Leeds have to play Burnley, Spurs and West Ham exactly. If West Ham and Spurs beat Leeds, panic. Is that... Chat, that might be too spicy a take. Leeds are on 40, they're safe. I don't think they are. Chat, I'm going to be honest. This year, you've got two teams that are so shit. with respect to Burnley and Wolves, and lots of other teams have picked up a lot of points. Like, if you look at the average points per team in the Premier League, even at the top of the table, people have dropped a lot of points this year to teams around them. Like, it's a very weird year. Like, in Football Manager, you have these seasons, like, once every 3 to 5 seasons where the Premier League is weird. Do you know the seasons I'm on about? Like, you get the weird seasons in Football Manager. Like, Man City will be in 12th for the entire season. I feel like we might be having one of those weird seasons at the bottom of the table. Kamir, what a finish. Kamir might have to start on the right wing. Leeds should beat Burnley, surely. I mean, you'd expect to, but, like, it's the fucking Premier League. People cause upsets. I will be honest, and I mean this in the most polite way to Burnley fans. I kind of had forgotten Burnley were in the Premier League until, like, last week. Like, it must be one of the weirdest... I think it's because Wolves stole all the headlines as being the shit team. And then, like, Sunderland stole the thunder as the newly promoted team doing really well. I feel like Burnley have just been in 19th for, like, every game week of the season. I don't mean that to be rude to Burnley as well. I have lovely memories of going to Turf Moor. It's one of those weird seasons. I saw, is it Vissel did a video on Burnley? He's a Burnley fan recently. He's like talking about how it's just like he doesn't feel like he's going to remember this season. Spurs celebrating an Everton equalised like they won the league is peak cringe. Was it funny? I hope. Oh, that's an annoying goal to concede. I hope the Wolves fans celebrated when Wilson scored for West Ham. Burnley for a forgettable yo-yo team. They're the new Norwich. Fair. Were Norwich that forgettable? I feel like Norwich, even when they went down, had some memorable seasons, but I do have a degree of bias. Because Wolves are so bad, Scott Parker didn't get sacked time. Burnley had been bottom. It had been sacked by now. It's distracted Burnley also being genuinely shit too. Yeah, I think there is a bit of that. I remember when Dude Perfect had some investment in Burnley. And they had all the people from Dude Perfect at Burnley Stadium. Can people remember that? I feel like last time Burnley came up, they were like a bit trendy. Under Vincent Kompany. And then this year, they kind of drew their way up to the Premier League. Didn't they have like 12 0-0s in the Championship? I don't know. I'd love to know what Burnley fans think about this season. Because I feel like they've just not really got any mainstream attention. Because Wolves have been really shit. Sunderland have performed well. The fight for the other relegation spot, because it's been like Spurs down there and West Ham down there and even Forest down there and all those teams have been sacking managers. Everyone's kind of just forgotten that Burnley exist. Like, is that an accurate reflection of what it's like to be Burnley? Chat, I don't want to throw Yang under the bus. But Yang is a shambolic player. He's not match fit, though, the Chinese national. We've got to give him time. I'll tell you what, chat. I don't know if I agree that Norwich are as forgettable as Burnley. Remember when Teemu Pukki got a Player of the Month card in EFC in the first month? It was FIFA back then, to be fair. Can anyone remember that Teemu Pukki Player of the Month card? First month. I don't know what FIFA it would have been. It might have been like FIFA 22. Take me back. Take me back. That's one of those the streets will remember Ultimate Team cards. Okay, Kamir's put to be yellow. I don't have anyone to take him off for. We'll bring in Show. I was going to make the same change I made last game where I take off Vargas and Ishikawa and bring in Iber and Shimada. I still feel like that's a pretty good change to do. Because Iber and Shimada have like 15 acceleration each, and against a tired defence, especially when we're looking to counter, that can be brutal. But I actually think in this game we'll just freshen up the midfield because they're actually playing well. Great players at a club don't really mean the team's memorable. I mean, to be fair, didn't Norwich like beat Man City 3-2 at Carrow Road? I feel like that was kind of a memorable game. I feel like whenever Norwich played Liverpool, Suarez would always score goals. So maybe that's why I remember Norwich's seasons, because I just remember Suarez scoring. Right, Kawhi, show! It's not a great shot there. If Spurs go down with their massive budget, it'll be a win for football. Sorry to all the Spurs fans in chat. Chat, I really want Spurs to go down because I think it makes for a great YouTube save game. I know that's a morally bankrupt reason to want something to happen. I've got a soft spot with Burnley. They got Chris Wood humming. Facts. I didn't realise how shit Wood season this season had been until I was watching, what football was it? Chat, where I would have seen the preview. Oh, it was literally Friday's game, wasn't it? It was literally on Friday's game, pre-match. I saw it, the stats flash up for Chris Wood's season. Off work and on the stream. Do a football, we love that. And for anyone who thinks that do a football is Lelujo's thing, doafootball.com. Chat, go in your browser right now and search doafootball.com. Tell me what corner of the internet you end up on. Also, how the fuck have we drawn this 1-1? Pardon my French. We was robbed. I'll tell the players I sympathise. We are missing our 2 starting wingers. We have gone top, but it's a bit early days for that. Chat, why is my fitness coach doing the media stuff? You know what? I'm all about it. Let Tano do it. Chat, I think that all Premier League teams should let the fitness coach with no media training do press conferences. I think it's because our assistant manager left in the off-season and I signed a new one, but after the previous one had gone. So it assigned loads of stuff to the fitness coach. Do we want to offer Kamir a new deal? I mean, he's got a 3-year contract. Has he got a release clause? He does. £1 million. It's cheap. Can we do a new deal without a release clause? Hey, Whitey, dude. How are you doing today, mate? Are you well? I'm kind of happy to include a relegation release clause. But I want to get rid of as many release clauses as possible. What was Chris Wood's injury, chat? What's he been out with? Forgive my ignorance. I need to insert a column that is release clauses, because I need to keep track of who has a release clause that I need to get rid of. Like, Vargas has got to go. Acadas I would love to get rid of. Oh, wait, chat, there's multiple different release clauses. I tell you what, this is bloody stupid. You're going to see what I'm complaining about here, chat. Because if I go transfer... No, sorry, contract, clauses, release. I need to have domestic clubs. Oh, wait, it's not domestic clubs. What is it then? Is it domestic clubs, but it expires? There's definitely some players that have a domestic clubs one. Domestic clubs... No, it's not that one. Which one is it? Let's check. I feel like some players have a minimum release clause and some of them have one to teams in the division. Kamir had one, didn't he? Because we literally just looked at it. Oh, it's higher division. Oh, that doesn't matter because we're in the top division. I'm a bloody moron. Didn't need to give him a new contract, although it's probably not a bad idea. Oh, chat, none of these matter. Right, those, remove those. Don't care about those. Bloody hell, what a noob. Imagine not knowing how to play the game that you play for a living. Cringe. So the only player who has a bad release clause is Ikeda. He signed a new deal at the end of last season. He still wants to sign a new deal now. What a lovely bloke. Oh, you dickhead. I should have asked him if he'd removed the clause. Right, cancel negotiations. I'll come back in a month. Have you played the college football games, Jack? I haven't, no. I actually have this year's college football game. Was it college football? Well, I say this year's. Last summer's game. And I've just not played it. Matsuoka is out with a bruised toe. That sounds like a pathetic injury. As someone who once broke their toe badly, fucking hurts when you do your toe in. Also, chat, just a general pro-life tip, right? Don't play football barefoot in a warehouse with like a tiny football that's not a football. Because if you kick the floor, it really bloody hurts. Please follow the stream for more life advice. Guard to make offer for Kamiya. Rejects. Get out of here. What a lovely bloke. 2 seconds later. Oh, you dickhead. Look, chat. I'll just say how it is sometimes. Also, don't stub your toe too hard. Losing a nail's no fun either. True. Chat. I once went down a water slide, like with my feet first, pointing like downwards. I was on my tummy, going feet first down a water slide. And you know, like how the water slide connects. I was going down, and the next segment was higher than the one below. You can guess what happened to my toenail. Use your imagination. It might be the most pain I've ever been in my life, genuinely. Oh, chat, I'm like squirming thinking about it. It was it was bad. I don't know why I've brought it up, really. Without a doubt, some of the most pain I've ever had. Right, we are in the Emperor's Cup here. We won this last year. We're taking on Kanai Club. I don't know what division they play in, but it's one of the deep lower league divisions. If Azami Nene's here, he'll probably be able to drop the knowledge bomb. I think they play in like the 5th division, one of the prefecture leagues. Based on their stuff here. Oh, chat. They finished 7th in the Tohoku Football League Division 2 South, which I think is the 6th division. I'm pretty sure that's the 6th division. So this is non-league of the non-league. We probably can rotate. And if I lose this, it's all on me. Also, chat, I can hear the dog growling at the back door. The dog is going through a phase at the moment, chat, where a few days ago he saw a cat on the back garden wall. And he is now obsessed about the fact a cat was on his wall. To the point where he'll be chilling, just living his life, and then randomly he just likes to trot over to the back door and stare at where the cats were in case they've returned. Like, it's really affected him emotionally, the fact that a cat dare stand on his land. I mean, he is a schnauzer, right? So, like, the dogs were bred to, like, watch farmyards for pests. That's, like, where they started. So I guess he's doing his job. So, he has decided the cat is the enemy. To the point where this morning I was sat on a bench with him down the road from my house and he saw a cat and he was fuming. He was like, that must be a friend of the bloke I saw on my wall. I'm going to play a full B team here, and if we bottle it, it's entirely on me and I'll suffer the consequences. How many foreign players am I allowed? Oh, I'll have 5 in the match squad. I'm only going to have 3 anyway, I think. I guess I could give Kieto some minutes. Oh, but I really shouldn't need to. I wouldn't mind giving Ethan Williams some minutes for his match sharpness, to be fair. Chat, I didn't get to watch the FA Cup game today. How was it? Like, I saw Southampton were ahead, And then I immediately saw that like City equalised within minutes. Based on what I saw on my social media feed, it did seem like City were probably deserved winners and just wasted loads of chances. But it is the hope that hurts. Also, I was a bit lazy here, chat, because I actually don't want to play. I want to play these guys this way round, but I didn't want to change the formation pre-match in case it messed it up for future games. Did it finish 2-1 or 3-1? Either way, Southampton gave me hope for about 2 minutes based on what I saw on my Twitter feed. In fact, I think I saw the fact that City had equalised before I saw the fact Southampton had taken the lead. This might be a net free and flee game, by the way, chat. If we go 3 goals up, given the fact they play in like the 7th division, or maybe further behind, we don't need to worry about this one too much. City were bad until they made subs for their main first-team players. I mean, imagine being a Southampton player, right? You've like been run ragged for 70 minutes and you're hanging on in there, and then you kind of see the players that City have just warming up. Like, it must be pretty demoralising. I feel like it's one of those things you think, for fuck's sake. Like, can I not just have a bit of a rest? How has Kamir missed an open goal there? That is shocking. Also, chat, I'm blowing my nose. I need to blow my nose. I'm muting the mic. You don't want to hear this. We're going to score. It's going to be a great goal. Never mind. Oh, right, we're back. Just had an idea for a change to FM. Similar to how F1 has sponsored drivers, have the option to become a sponsored manager where you start an employee with no coaching badges or playing experience, but you can try and buy your way into management. Is that a thing that happens in real life? Because in real life you do get paid drivers. I feel like in F1, like, you get team principals who have ownership stakes in the team. I'm trying to think, outside of Dorking, are there any managers who own a stake in the team they manage? Hot take, and I'm not an Arsenal fan. I hope Arsenal win the league this season. Oh, chat, I'm conflicted because I think it's funny if Arsenal bottle it again. And I don't really feel anything if City win the league. I think I'm beyond that point of feeling anything if they win the league. Like, I just want the memes. Todd Bowley, arguably. Yeah, to be fair, that's a fair point. Fabregas at Como? Does Fabregas have a stake at Como? I kind of wish, chat. I don't know if I would love a director of football mode in Football Manager. Like, you see some YouTubers like Luke does it a lot, Omega Luke. Obviously, Tom does it, Clates does it, where, you know, they'll simulate big chunks and just do all the transfers and kind of, you know, general outline for the team. I actually think that kind of gameplay, that kind of way of playing the game could be facilitated through, like, a slightly different mode in Football Manager, where you could maybe add in a bit where you pick your manager for your team and you can change the manager if you want. You still have the actual ownership group kind of judging your performance as the director of football and, like, leading recruitment. And, like, to that extent, I do wonder if longer term, like, you've got Football Manager is like the ultimate football simulation sandbox, right? I feel like with what they've built out with Football Manager, you could do a chairman mode with not a load of work, and it would be like the most sophisticated chairman mode of any football game ever. I'm not saying they should do that, but I feel like if Football Manager wanted to, they could just do a director of football mode and, like, a club owner mode within Football Manager. Like, I think they would be more novelties and more, like, side modes that aren't used by everyone. But I feel like the actual work to implement them, given kind of the breadth and depth Football Manager already has, isn't that extreme. Also, chat, we're winning 4-0. I'm going to instant result. We're playing a team who are, like, in the 7th tier with our B team. I think we're allowed to leave. Chat, we win 11-0. I'm going to say it now. I think we did the right thing in leaving. 11. Good job, everyone. Clean sheet for the keeper on his debut. We love that. Hattori. He got 3 assists and a goal. I feel like the AI manager would be shit. You'd sign them a class player and the AI would just not play them. Maybe you could tell the manager. You know, like in the same way when you loan out a player, you can kind of tell the team how much you want them to play, or like what your playing time expectation is or whatever. Or like you can set a target for the player. Surely you could sign a player and tell the manager they have to use them. Like maybe the manager would be resentful to the fact you're telling them how to play and could probably ignore you like in real life. But, like, it's not uncommon in real life for, like, a player to be signed by a club and a manager to be told, hey, you've got to play this player. Like, you could literally make that a gameplay thing, where if you tell them, hey, you've got to play this player, and then they play them and the player doesn't do well, then, like, it makes the manager unhappy. And, like, he could speak out in the press about the fact that you're kind of dictating how he has to play the team. Like, I feel like that you can just make that work in kind of a gameplay sense. I've got to juggle these players around because I didn't have it on the right view. Moneyball it and sell everyone playing that position so your preferred choice is the only one. Genius. Unix DK, dude, thank you so much for the tier 1, mate. I appreciate the 21. I hope you're well, buddy. Like, maybe the owner won't appreciate it if the manager's being outspoken about the signings not being good and stuff. Like, can you see how you can make this mode, though, chat? Like, you could definitely do a director of football mode and add in a few little bits that kind of make it slightly different to being a, like, football manager as it is now. But, like, so much the groundwork to do, like, a director of football game is just already done through Football Manager and how it simulates the game world. It's just changing the means by which a player, like, influences it. Like, you could do an agent mode. I don't think that should be the top priority. I think director of football makes the most sense. But, like, you could do, like, a football agent. Football manager, like, agent mode where you kind of are an agent for footballers. You have to, like, try and get them good moves, negotiate their contracts and stuff and kind of dictate their career. Like, I know there's a few YouTubers who have done videos where they've kind of made themselves, like, artificially the director for a player. That one, I think, is a bit far removed from, like, what the game is now and is probably, like, not something for in the next 10 years of Football Manager. I feel like, you know, let's nail the management side of things first, you know. But longer term, why not? What would a player mode look like, chat? I don't even know how that would work. Because I feel like an integral part of being a player is playing matches. And I don't feel like I ever want to play the matches in Football Manager as, like, someone controlling the AI. I'd get annoyed at the AI playing badly. Like, at that point, I feel like probably just play EAFC. Do you know what I mean? I feel like EAFC can do, like, a better player mode than Football Manager can, because the reality is if you're a player, you're not actually you're not interacting with that much outside in the game world outside of the matches. Hey, Shorty, we're doing well. We're doing well, Nico. Yeah, we've started the league season well. We just won in the Cup 11-0. We're taking on Cerezo Osaka, who are in 7th. I kind of want to get off to a really good start, chat, and then hopefully, you know, if we're high enough in the table, all the players that said, I don't want to talk to you because I want you to be more established in J1, if we climb up a little bit, by January, they'll all want to sign for me. Is Williams fit enough to play? 45 minutes. I guess we do it. Diaco's out for 3 to 7 weeks still. Quieto was the boy last year as a centre attacking mid, and then this year he said, I'm leaving at the end of my contract, and he's been shit. Look how good he was last year. Admittedly, I have changed the position I'm using him in, so maybe it's that. I mean, I could play him at centre attacking mid and see how he gets on. I guess. Has Ishikawa done much yet? I know sometimes with the skin chat, you get like a bug where you somehow manage to highlight the name and then you can't click into the player. Which is very weird. I don't know how I did that. This guy's not been that good. You know what? Let's try Kieto through the middle and Show out on the left. Because Show was... this is basically how we lined up last year in terms of the attacking midfielders. Why do I choose this skin compared to the original one? It just feels nice and different. I feel like this skin doesn't change a load because skins can't change a load in Football Manager. I think the certain screens I think are way better, like the club site screen. Overall, like, I don't think it's, like, revolutionary, but I don't think a skin can be revolutionary this year. But I think it makes the game look a bit more aesthetically pleasing. I don't have to deal with purple everywhere. And when you've been staring at the same screens for hundreds of hours, just making it look different is just quite refreshing. That's happening on FM in general now, rather than the skin. Oh, excellent, Mulak. Mulak, when's the next Minecraft phase happening? Callum, can you ask Dupe when he's ready for the next phase? Every, like, 3 years, chat, there is a phase where a subsection of Football Manager content creators and streamers and former creators at this point, some of them have moved on with their lives and families and stuff. We just have that Minecraft phase. You know, like the 2-week Minecraft phase? We have that, but it's loads of Football Manager creators who all stream their POVs. I think after the World Cup, we might, you know, in the summer, end of the summer, kind of autumn time, maybe that's what I'll do. Have I still got the free cam? Not right now, Nico, no. I think the free cam has been updated for the latest version of Football Manager. I've just not got it installed. All right, Miura, don't hurt me. Shit! Oh my word, he's missed an open goal. That's awkward. I think Cerezo Osaka are a pretty good team. Is there a way, chat, whilst I'm in a match I can see where they finished in the league last year? I absolutely hate the fact that you can't see more information about a team. Actually, that's something. MW90, are you still here now? Can you guys... Is it possible to edit the pop-up when you click on a club in a match? Like, could you theoretically put the league history graph in that pop-up? Is it possible to watch the 2D between highlights of this skin? I don't think it's supported in this. Do you know what's mental? I didn't even realise that. I've only just noticed the fact that this skin doesn't have the 2D between highlights. They've scored a penalty. Pain. What does that say about that feature, chat, that I've only just realised it because someone's pointed it out? Oh, 2D's on the right panel. Noted. So you can just cycle it in. Oh, wait. I think I've seen this. Is it here? Oh, chat, look. Oh, that's... I feel like I'm playing Sabutio. The pitch being vertical is fucking with my head. My brain comp... Chat, it's like when you go around your mate's house back in the day and he would play FIFA and he'd insist on playing end-to-end camera. And you had to play it for a half. And you were always at a fucking disadvantage playing split screen against him because you had to use that camera for a half. And he'd still be used to the other camera too. It just feels weird, right? Like when you're in a match, I kind of feel like you want to see where the opposition finished last season. I feel like that's like one of the most common things that during a match you might be like, oh, this team. Because at the moment there is this fixture panel, but you can't actually see the result. Well, you can see, I guess you can see the results technically. So I've not looked into skinning at all, MW90. With these pop-ups, can you guys make them bigger or are they locked to this size? Because I just wonder if you make this wider so you can see the results and then you could have the league history graph here. I know the panels are kind of locked to a size. I don't think any of them are dynamic, to be fair. I feel like here, like, league history would be useful. Because the amount of times where in a football match, you're like, oh, are they actually any good in this universe? Is this fucking with anyone else's heads, the vertical pitch? This is hurting my brain. It's like when you play Mario Kart, right? And then you play the mirrored circuits. You know that feeling like your muscle memory and every fibre of your being is saying it should be a certain way and it's not that way. Okay, Kieto, after everything, chat, has picked up an injury. I bloody hate him. Ishikawa, I'm waiting for you to have your breakout performance. Let's make today the day. Vargas off. Iba's got 1 goal and 1 assist. Shimada has a goal, no assist. You know what? We'll go with form. We'll bring in Iba. Come here for Williams as well, because he's coming back from injury. And then Hattori can play. In fact, no. Hattori is the weak link. We'll move Mori to right back. Because Mori's good, and he can play left back and right back. And then we'll bring in Hattori, who was our... Not Hattori. Hashimoto, because he was our left back last season. Sell Kieto. I tried to sell him, and no one wanted him. And now he's running down his contract, and he's going to leave on a free anyway, NJ Starling. I was very upset about it yesterday. I like having all the player photos at the bottom. It makes me feel calm. Oh, Iba. On off the bench. You were meant to be the hero. Right, let's go attacking. Let's encourage the players. We're underdogs. We're a newly promoted team. We've swung the game in our favour in the second half. I need a highlight. They've only scored from the penalty spot as well. They're penalty merchants. They're not even good. You know what's really annoying? You can't see the team in 20th at the bottom. You have to scroll to see them. My face is in the way anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Please, lads, please. Very attacking. What an awful game of football. Like, what? Genuinely, dog shit. They scored a penalty and nothing else happened. I'm fuming. I'm fine. I don't think we're winning the league at the first time of asking, I'm afraid to say. It's a newly promoted team. That dream has died. I mean, I assume Kieto's injury is not that bad. Kieto's been so bad. The fact he's just going to leave on a free is annoying. If I'd known this was how it was going to play out, chat, would have sold him after his season last season. I can't work out, chat. MW United's here, so maybe they, you know. Is this arrow graphic just cut off, or is the arrow an asymmetric arrow? Because the down arrow looks okay. The down arrow looks like it might be cut off slightly. The up arrow looks confusing. First time I saw it, I thought it was a bug on my screen or something. Because I think it's cut off slightly. I could be wrong. I feel like it's not symmetrical. Maybe it is symmetrical. I think the bottom is cut off by a few pixels, and it's throwing me off because of that. Yeah, it is. Chat, if you turn your head, you can see it. High-tech QA. Because I think it's the same on the down arrow, but it's less noticeable. Like I think the top is cut off on that one and the bottom is cut off on that one. This reminds me, chat, tilt my head like this. Did anyone used to play 8-ball pool back in the day and you get a ruler on your screen to line up your shots? I was doing it on stream last year. I'm still a scumbag. That's how I feel. What if I tilt it the other way? I look like a curious dog. know when like a dog's thinking. There was something I really liked about this skin chat, and I couldn't work out what it was for ages, and then it hit me. And you might have noticed it's missing, you might not have noticed it's missing. The circles that players' faces are on are gone on so many different screens. And it's so much better for it. Like, there's certain, like, on the news screen, all the faces and stuff are normally in circles, if I'm not mistaken, and it looks dog shit. And the skin just gets rid of them. I think. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm like creating false memories. I feel like there's less circle head faces everywhere. Like on the squad screen as well, right? Like, there's no circles around the faces. Like, they'd all have circles in the base game. I do wish on the tables there was a bit more... I don't even think there is. Like, a slight differentiation per row. Like, that just alternates for the colour. I don't know if it would have to be darker to make the highlight work. Like, it's quite clean. It just needs to be, like, just a tiny, subtle bit darker, I think. Speaking of the dogs, where's Milo? He's sleeping. He was here earlier because it was his birthday, chat. I say it was it's actually his birthday tomorrow. We're going to the beach with him. Oh, God. Okay. Right. Asian Champions League registration. Can I be honest, chat? I never checked the registration rules. This is going to be one of those peak Football Manager moments where you tick every player and hope that you can select them all, and when you get to the bottom, there's still a green tick. Oh, there is. Happy days. Happy days. Although, I can't register Vargas. I need to create one spot. Oh, I can hear the dog barking outside, chat. Why is he barking? Oh, I know what it is. Foxes. Foxes. We have foxes on our road, and we go walk him out to pee before bed, which is what will be doing now, and he will have seen a fox. 100% what's happened. I'm not going to register Hattori, because Hattori's like 5th or 6th choice fullback. Wheeler Games to streams. Rollercoaster Tycoon, Out of the Park, 8-Ball FM. Oh, chat, I miss streaming Rollercoaster Tycoon. What a game. Planet Coaster as well. I've been getting back into an old school RuneScape phase at the moment, chat, which is dangerous. I've not even started playing leagues. I can't do that. Also, what the fuck happened to my formation here, lads? Why is it all jumbled up? Is that saved wrong? Why is it... I'm confused. One sec. Clear squad. Best 11. Why, when I imported it before, did it import the wingers the wrong way around, and then I've done it again and it's fine? That's odd. That's definitely a Football Manager issue, not a skin issue, though. I think we start Kamia on the right. I've been trying to shoehorn in one of my foreign players on the left, then move Williams across, but I don't think it's really worked. Kamia's been one of our better performers. I've got to be careful, to be fair, because some of these stats are inflated based on that one cup game. Like, Iber scored 4 goals against an 8th division team. Never played Planet Coaster, but Roller Coaster Tycoon is top tier. It's one of those games that's just aged very, very well. I hope they fix registration. When I tried to play in Japan, I could only register at the beginning of the season in the first year. Then it worked the second season. I'm confused what you mean by that, NYJ fan. So, like, you couldn't register new players mid-season? I've not had any registration issues so far playing in Japan. Played Theme Hospital recently. Oh. The receptionist had some great one-liners in Theme Hospital. I played a little bit of 2 Point Hospital, but I don't know why it didn't scratch the same itch. I don't know if it's just nostalgia made me enjoy Theme Hospital more when I go back and play it. I don't know. I played a little bit of 2 Point Hospital, but I didn't like it. I don't think I finished the campaign. Oh shit. Chat, are we? Oh, he's offside. Okay, we're fine. VAR's going to rule it out. We're all going to chill. Doctor required in the inflation room. Yeah, the inflation thing where the heads were really bloated and they would like pop the head then re-inflate it was funny. That's a mental sentence to say to anyone who's never played Theme Hospital. Theme Hospital is a game where you have to build a hospital. But obviously as a concept for a video game, having it be that you treat like actual real life diseases and stuff wouldn't be very nice. So it's lots of fictional like issues. One of them is being invisible, where the people you're like, I was going to call them guests, but that's definitely Roller Coaster Tycoon terminology. Your patients will turn up with a floating trench coat and a floating hat, but they're invisible. Or they'll have like an inflated head that needs to be popped and then re-inflated. It's quite funny. You know, wasn't there an Elvis impersonator thing as well? I've not played 2 Point Campus or 2 Point Museum. I think Wok played a bit of 2 Point Museum. I think she enjoyed it, but like as she got through the campaign, like the gameplay loop just got a bit repetitive. There was a game I played years ago, chat, and it wasn't like a popular game at all. Like it was one of those games that I think I found at my granddad's house, you know, that he'd like bought on sale. I think it was called Golf Resort Tycoon or Golf Tycoon. And it was a bit like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Is that a foul? I think that's a foul. I think we're going to have a pen here. But it was like a game where you had to design your own like golf courses. And like you had to add like a clubhouse, club shops, and like build up facilities. But you could actually design all the holes yourself and then watch people play them. And that was like the best bit about the game, was designing your own golf holes. And then you could watch people play them. Like it was a really fun game. I was playing it when I would have been like 10 or 11, so it probably was actually like a dog shit game, but I just enjoyed designing the golf holes. I'm kind of shocked no one's ever tried that again. I feel like that would be like quite a fun concept for a game. Like, and you can have it so you actually play the holes as well. There's a new game like that. It's called Under Par. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I need to Google it. Under Par game. Under Par Architect. Oh my word. Can you... Oh my... Chat. It released a week ago. Chat. Hold the phone. It's 15 quid. Oh my word. I kind of want to play it. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to check this out after the stream. Has anyone played Open Transport, OTTD Tycoon? Is that... I thought that you were going to say Open Transport Tycoon. I love Open Roller Coaster Tycoon, but I just like roller coasters. Top marks whoever named it Under Par. That is a good name. Under Par Golf Architect. Can you play the holes as well? That would be quality if you could play them too. I don't want it to be like a sophisticated game. Like, it'd just be like a fun party game. Has anyone ever played Ultimate Chicken Horse? Imagine Ultimate Chicken Horse, chat, but it's like mini golf. Oh my word, that was a Rabona pass. Chat, that's actually a banger idea for a game. You could have like different hazards that you add to the mini golf course over time. Ultimate Chicken Horse, but it's mini golf. Fucking hell, that's actually a sick idea for a game. You could do it like in a golf with your friends style thing where it's 3D, or it could like be 2D top down. Do we have any game developers in the chat? Because I think it's a great idea. I'll do the art. That's actually such a... That would actually be such a good game. Have I seen the sequel, Ultimate Sheep Raccoon? I don't know if you're doing a bit here, Vinny. Is that actually a sequel to Ultimate Chicken Horse called Ultimate Sheep Raccoon? Oh, they equalised from a free kick. Also, this is the team that just lost in the Asian Champions League final in real life today. Vinny is correct, one sec. Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. Is it just more of the same? Oh, they're all on bikes. Is it a bit like Happy Wheels? Oh, it's got mixed reviews. 46% positive. No! Is this one of those things where people have given it a bad rating because they don't like the fact it's different, or is it actually worse? I'm coming to my chat to give me a good vibe check here. It looks a bit like, was it Happy Wheels? I feel like there was like a bike game on Xbox 360 that was similar to Oh Quieto, please. He was never going to score that. It's fun, but not as good as the first. That's kind of fair. I kind of respect them for doing something or trying something different. I can't say I've heard of it. It's weird. I feel like Ultimate Chicken Horse is one of those games where, like, one of your friends suggests it and then you all pick it up because it's, like, cheap and it's just fun. Like, it's not a game that has a load of marketing spent. It's one of those games that gets kind of shared for its virality. Is there a golf battler that's come out recently, Minty? I feel like an Ultimate Chicken Horse game that's mini golf would actually be sick. Like, you could end up with some really fucking funny holes. You could do a thing where, like, if you put it in a hazard, you get a time penalty. And it's like, I don't know how it would work. It's like the number of strokes you take times the time it took you to do the hole. I don't know. I've not thought about it that much. Super Battle Golf. Is that the name of the game? I feel like that's not as good as the name Under Par, is it? But it does do what it says on the tin. Let's have a look at Super Battle Golf. I didn't realise there was a renaissance for golf games. Oh, this game's like... Okay, so this is not... It's not quite what I was thinking of. You're in golf buggies shooting each other. I mean, that does look quite fun. Oh, trailers playing noise. Can you even hear the noise there? Probably. You know what? I think that's a good point. Williams got injured again. Stop getting injured. Oh, my word. Chat. In one game, we play our first game in the Champo. We're playing Persib of Indonesia. No one let the Indonesian FM World Cup guys know. They'll start managing the other team and beat me with a 4-2-3-1 and I'll cry. First game in the Champions League. Now, I know the Oceanic Champions League kind of counts as a Champions League. But would it be disrespectful to that competition to suggest this is our first time playing in an actual proper Champions League? Like, is that a fair statement? Like, this is proper now. Do you know what I mean? This is the real deal. One thing I've noticed, chat, since updating my game to the latest update, and I noticed this playing through Park Supreme today, where I played through 4 months just whilst, you know, watching football and stuff. The news in-game is way better. I've been kind of critical on past updates about the news of the game. I felt like when I was playing my Park Supreme save game today, I was seeing so much more news about what was happening in my league, like manager changes, players playing well. Has anyone else noticed that the news seems to be a bit better curated in terms of what you're shown? Like, it's definitely not perfect. But it was playing through Park Supreme for 4 months today. I really started to notice, like, stuff happening a bit more, which is quite good. Hey, Hunt SV, how are you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing, my lovely friend? But in general, I think the news is better. I do feel like sometimes you'd see like a manager's face, right? The news item would be regarding like a manager, but it doesn't always show the club they're at, especially when you're hitting continue and you get the news item. Like you'd see a manager and it'd be like, manager discusses X, but you actually don't know who they manage based on the inbox item. Like it doesn't show you anywhere. Which could absolutely just be a skill issue, but it did seem like a bit of a weird oversight. Diaco's still out for ages, which sucks. I feel like we've had a good start to the season, but the stats for my players look really crap. I guess we've not won in 3 league games. How's it been going? It's going good. It's going good. We've, you know, first season in J1, growing pains. We've lost our first choice wingers, basically, for the start of the season, which has been a bit crap. I'm a little bit concerned that I'm not rotating the team enough, because for whatever reason in Japan, it feels like you have games every weekend and midweek for the first month of the season. Now, we really do need a win, chat. Belmare here, I don't think are an easy team either. You can't see where they are in the league, can you, on this screen here? That would be nice if you could see the team's league position once you kind of enter a match in the pop-up. That's twice now where I've wanted to see it. Is that Ethan Williams who starts at Man U? It is indeed. Boggy, I'm doing very, very well, thank you. Is there a new skin? This skin I'm using is newish. I think there's been a few skins out for a while. This is the Control skin by MW90. You can get it through the FM Skin Builder program, which if you just search FM Skin Builder on YouTube, you'll find it. It's like at the top there. But the tactics screen has not changed in this versus what you see in the rest of FM26. It's just, you know, visually there's some faces added and stuff, but functionally it is the same. It's tricky. This year with skinning, like, it's not possible to, like, change things too wholesale. Or if it is possible, it's not been figured out yet, because obviously it's a new system with this game being in Unity. But I feel like this skin just makes everything feel a bit fresh, which I'm appreciative to. Mori's picked up a knock. Do I want to keep him on? I feel like I should take him off. We'll bring in Hashimoto. Last season, Hashimoto was my starting left back. Also, I've just noticed, chat, they're playing the formation Belmare that we played against when we took on Alberex earlier. So that is 2 teams in J1 that play this monstrosity of a formation. And out of possession, I think they're playing the same shape as well. Like, what are they cooking? I do wish you got a bit more kind of crazy formations from the AI. You know, like with the new in and out of possession formations, I feel like having the AI like use an asymmetric 4-2-3-1, or, you know, just something that's a bit less template would definitely be nice. I'm going to tell the players I'm pleased. We're away from home. We've not conceded. It's very dark, Jack. If there's anything you could do to make it a bit more colourful. I like the skin as it is, Prodigy. I prefer it being dark than being too colourful. But, I mean, theoretically, you know, someone could make the skin lighter if they want to, but that's like more of a matter of personal preference. I'm going to be honest, I absolutely hate the purple in the base game of Football Manager that's existed for the last however many years. I'd rather it be this kind of dark, kind of black, grey. What colour is this? It's like a very, very dark, like not even midnight blue. It's like a dark. It is a more of a blue, I think, or like an aqua, but really, really dark. Any Alberex Singapore enjoyers? Alberex Singapore don't exist anymore, do they? They've changed their name. Also, they've signed Kaizuki Honda. I can't remember what the new team name is for Albirex Niigata, but they're actually changing their name and they've signed Kaisuke Honda to play for them. They have still got like the link, I believe, with Niigata. But I can't remember what their new name is. Is it Tanjong something? They are actually named after a part of... Oh, shit! They are actually named after a part of Singapore now. Honda Ultimate Journeyman Final Boss. I think he's doing the Journey Manager save game in reverse. I mean, the pitch is black like the rest of the screen. Oh, what? On the tactics screen? Oh, I don't mind the tactics pitch being dark, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's personal preference, isn't it? Right, chat, we're a goal down. We're actually not in good form right now. I might have to drop Vargas. I think what we're really lacking, to be honest, is just our best wide players being fit. I don't even really want to bring in Williams here. His condition's not great, but I kind of need to try and give him some game time. I don't like the situation we're in right now with our team. Let's give Ikeda minutes, otherwise he's going to complain about a lack of first-team football. Big love from Singapore. Great to hear you mention about Albirex Jurong. Sorry, yeah, it's not Tanjong, because Tanjong Pagara... Is Tanjong Pagara a team? It's Jurong. Jurong FC is the new name for what was the Albirex Singapore team. I used to have a Lion City Sailors football shirt somewhere from Singapore. I don't know where that shirt is now. It might have gone to a charity shop because it didn't fit me. Oh, they've scored again. Chat, we've not won in 4 league games. Newly promoted. Is it time to panic? Should I have moved clubs whilst my stocks were high? I don't know what I've seen. Tanjong Pagar United is a team. See, chat. I know Singapore football. Obviously, we did manage there last year in Football Manager. The fact that I can say that last year I managed in Singapore, Malaysia, Bangladesh, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and England in a single save game. Like, that just sounds like a lie, doesn't it? Like in 2 truths and a lie, that just sounds like the lie. Okay, we've got 1 goal back. Don't call it a comeback yet. Shimada's actually got off the mark for the season. That I view that as a good start immediately. Let's go attacking for the last however many minutes. We'll go more direct, up the tempo. I don't really want to change anything else. Let's just stick with this. Oh, and Greece. Yeah, I managed in Greece in that save game too. That's a mental save game. If you watch that save game, respect. That is the kind of save game that I can only do 2 years into a Football Manager cycle. It does make me laugh whenever people go, you only do a save game in England. I'm thinking, motherfucker, you only watch my content for the first month if you think that's the case. Pardon my French. Sorry if you're watching at home, mum. In that save game, I was quite ruthless moving teams. Hamstring strain for Mori. That's not good. Right, next game. Taking on a team from Indonesia. Chat, it's our Champions League debut. Champo debut. We love it. What I don't love is these injuries and just the general lack of form to start the season. Now, the new Champions League format is weird because it's 8. I believe it's 8 teams go through. I believe you play 8 teams in this league stage. Actually, I could just check the rules. But there's basically an East and a West phase, so we will only play against these 12 teams. I'm pretty sure you play 8 games. It might be 6 games. The top 8 of these 12 go through, and then I think it's single-legged knockout games until a final that's between the East side of the bracket and the West. Oh, chat, Estiglal. If you know, you know. If you don't know, then, fair enough. Not everyone's going to be in the know, are they? How do I see the Champions League rules? Rules. Yeah, okay, so it's the top 8 play each other through the knockouts. And I think the round of 16 is 2 legs, but then from the quarterfinals onwards, it is single legs all the way. Group stage. Yeah, you play 8 games. Okay. 8 games to only eliminate 33% of teams is a lot. This summer weather for the past couple of days reminds me of coming home from work last year to alternating F1 Manager and Gibraltar Apex streams. Gibraltar Apex was a vibe, wasn't it? Jack, is your mum really okay with you swearing? Because I see all these content creators that do funny, sometimes crazy stuff, but then I wonder, what do their families think about it? My mum doesn't give a damn if I swear. Don't know why I avoided swearing there, chat. I kind of just do it as a little bit of a funny jab. But my mum does not actually watch my content. In fact, when I told her I was doing it full time, I was going to do it full time, I think she thought I was joking. Fuck, we're so not ready for this competition. Although in the Champions League, there's not a foreign player limit. So I can actually have some of the better players on the bench, which is good. Yeah, one-legged knockout games is kind of wild. That could get a little bit crazy, chat. Also, I don't have a backup left back because of all the injuries. I should have registered Hattori. That was an error. I miss Cliff Garcia. Chat, my Iron Man in old school RuneScape that I started not that long ago is named Cliff Garcia after the legend. If you're ever playing OSRS and you see a Cliff Garcia, it is me. Named after the GOAT. You know what the best thing about Cliff Garcia is, chat? I don't know if everyone will agree with this, if you watch the Gibraltar save game. Like, with the real photo-realistic regen face packs, I feel like it adds more personality and flavour to the player. Like, when a player has, the plasticine Football Manager regen faces, I don't really remember how they look. Whereas, I can remember Cliff Garcia's very round, smiley face last year. Do you know what I mean? It makes them feel a bit more like a person. Why is the draw first v second, third v fourth, etc.? Is that how it was in the Champions League? Did I not read the rules correctly? Oh yeah, that is... Chat, why is the draw like that? First in the East v second in the East, third in the East v fourth in the East, fifth in the East v sixth in the East. Shouldn't that be first versus eighth? I don't know if Azami Nene is still there. They maybe will know? That does seem weird. Right, chat, our aim is to finish 7th or 8th so we get an easier knockout draw. He joined for the healthcare and became a legend. That is the Cliff Garcia story. Also, Chuck, how are you doing, mate? Are you well? Oh, chat, it's our Champions League debut as a manager. I know we did the Oceanic Champions League. That doesn't feel as significant. Do you know what I mean? Like, that one is a bit more tin pot. This is our first time playing in the proper Champo. My history's looking kind of impressive now. Although, oh, you can scroll. You can't scroll with middle mouse on the screen. You actually have to click on the scroll. That's annoying, isn't it? Our manager history. I hate the fact it's not in order. Although actually it shows a bit better here. I love how Champo is part of your vocab now. Chat, I've learnt to embrace it. I hate myself for using it. I've learnt to embrace it. I need to change things here slightly. I'm going to play Kamiya on the right and then Quieto through the middle. Which is how I used Quieto and Williams last season. Because there's no foreign player limit in the Champions League, so I can use more foreign players. We did win the cup from the second division. Yeah, we won the Emperor's Cup as a second division team in Japan last year. Which is how we're in the Champions League as a newly promoted team. Which, on the one hand, that's really good for our manager reputation and kind of getting my rep up playing in the Champions League. On the other hand, when you're a newly promoted team that haven't exactly had a perfect start to the season, like we've not won in 4 games in the league now, having won the first 2, this does feel a bit like an unnecessary distraction. Jack, where is Giga Chad? I can't remember what Giga Chad's name was. Has Weah retired yet, chat? We need to just check on him. Oh, chat, he's still there. He doesn't want to join me. He's reluctant to move away from New Zealand. Does anyone else love the fact that George Weah went to New Zealand and fell in love with the country? It makes me irrationally happy. How are Auckland getting on? Oceanic Champions League. They won it! They won the Oceanic Champions League. We won it in 2028 with them. They bottled it without me, and then they've won it the next year. Right, we're taking on Persib. Their best player is Kodai Tanaka, who's a Japanese player who was playing in J2 and not scoring, and then went to the Indonesian Super League and is good now. He actually played in Singapore for a bit. Played for Lion City Sailors and also Ballastier. Is it Ballastier? Is that how you say their name? I feel like we should win this. I feel like we need to... We've got 8 games in the Champions League and we have to avoid finishing in the bottom 4 of 12. And of all the teams we're going to get drawn against, I actually think this is quite a kind draw. Like, we're going to play against a fair few other Japanese teams and South Korean teams. And I think there's a couple of Chinese teams in there. I think they're probably the more difficult games. I'm just clicking options, chat, without knowing what I'm clicking. We are away from home. I still feel like this is... We have to win this, right? If we want to make it to the knockouts, this is a game you have to expect to win. We definitely have better players than they do. Like, on paper, it's a better team. Also, they've got a very inclusive tunnel at this ground, which is much higher than ours. Which is good, because Kofi's 6'7", isn't he? He's very tall. I'm sorry, chat, I did the hand action. You're allowed to unsub or unfollow or, and whatever it is on the platform you're watching. Right, Asian Champions League debut. Let's go. Matsuoka. Kamiya. Matsuoka. In? Oh, please. Please! How has that gone in? Is there VAR? The line is not flagged. The ref put his hand to his ear, but I think this is just going to count. There is a VAR. Oh, no. Okay, I was waiting for a VAR pop-up to appear, and it just didn't appear. This is a very weird goal. It was like a deflected header. Like, the header was already on goal. And then he's just nodded it over the keeper. Keeper's been mugged there. Also, chat, the live league table that I get is for the Western Division. Is there literally not a way in Football Manager for me to view the West Division simultaneously? That is the most by the way, that is the most FM26 thing ever. If you can't switch to your league table. I assume that's a bug with the game rather than with the skin. Because there really should be a box here that allows me to switch to East and West. So in the Asian Champions League, there's an East and West division. We can only look at the West division, I'm afraid, everyone. We'll just win all our games and it'll be fine. I guess I can put it on the latest scores, can't I? When we go to Africa to win the CAF Champions League, can we adopt Waving Flag Knana as our unofficial anthem? I mean, you can play it at home. I don't want to get done by the copyright police. I was thinking, more a bit of a waka waka for when we're in Africa. Come here, do something magical. In America, well, I say in America, in North America, we'll just play the American national anthem because, of course, the USA is the centre of the world. Also, Camille scores goals like that. Why didn't he do that in the league? Why does he not do that in the league? Also, why are they all wearing coats? What's happening, chat? What am I being shown here? Is this just showing me the largest pre-match highlight ever? Why are we watching this in slow-mo? How long is it until the goal was scored from this free kick? I'll tell you what. I'm really glad that with all the updates this game has had, they've ironed out all the issues and not introduced any new bugs. Because, if they introduced new bugs, that would be an issue. When did we score in this? Was it here? I think it's here, right? Is it here? Oh, this is where we score. Why the fuck have we seen the previous... What is wrong with this game? Skip. I should have hit skip about 10 minutes ago. Jack, can you make a Legends-only save game where you put all the Legends you've had across multiple save games together to see what you can do with them? If someone would want to make that database and give me it, and I can make something on it, I'm all for it. That seems like a lot of work for a one-off video that I'm not sure has that much wider appeal. Like, at the end of every save game, I publish the save games and post a download link for them. So, the save games are out there to get the data from, but it would be a massive, massive amount of work for something that I'm not sure how much longevity it really has. It's annoying me, chat, that I can't view my own division. And the worst thing is if I switch to the fixtures, I'm going to want to switch back whenever we have a league game. We'll figure it out. FM26 is a great game. The thing is, I actually quite enjoy FM26. But bugs like the league table that we've seen and the replay and stuff, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like that just shouldn't fucking be in the game 6 months after launch. Is that like a fair assessment? I know in the grand scheme of things they are minor issues. But you'll encounter these little issues, I'd say multiple times per time you boot up the game to play. And they're not game breaking. Some people will say the game's unplayable. They're not game breaking, but they kind of just take you out the game a little bit because they're just jarring. I guess for lack of a better word. I'm going to do a shuffle here of the defence. Make sure everyone's in the right spots. Okay, they are. Speed is often confused with insight. When I start running earlier than the others, I appear faster. Happy Johan Cruyff Day and good evening. Wise words. It's weird. I feel like for FM27, I kind of just want it to have feature parity. I don't want them to add new stuff in that's never been in Football Manager before. Just make it have parity with FM24. Fix a load of these little bugs and add in some of the most requested stuff. Add in a attributeless mode. Add in a button that allows me to scout the top 50 Wonder Kids inbox item from a single click. Add in a way where I can select a load of players and praise all their training at once rather than having to go for each individual one. they're not revolutionary features, but I think they're things that people who play the game a lot want to have in the game. And the fact there's stuff that just isn't in the game makes me think that the people who make decisions don't know what the game doesn't have that people want. I feel like this coming year, right, chat, maybe this is I feel like people want to feel like the game is making progress to what it once was, but also feel like Football Manager is being made for the hardcore football managers again. I feel like the game, for a lot of people, feels like it was made more casual, rightly or wrongly. I think some of that is a bit of an illusion, where they had to cut corners to get the game out on time and like remove stuff that kind of made it look like they were cutting the fat off the game to make it more accessible, whereas actually I think they just ran out of time and had to rush something out the door. I feel like, I don't know, that's where I'm at with it. I don't know if people agree. I'm always hesitant to like speak as like some kind of weird authority authority figure, because I don't think I have that clout. But I do think, like, generally speaking, like, yeah, FM27. I don't need it to reinvent the game. Just improve the core screens that are lacking in FM26. Fix the bugs. Add in some of the most long requested features that are like not even major things. I think regarding training, they need input from actual qualified coaches. Oh, Football Manager have loads of stuff like that. They literally have an internal talk they do like once a month, where they have like a coach in football or a football manager come in and do a talk to the studio. I think there's a lot of stuff in Football Manager where there's like a balance between, do you want it to be realistic and boring or gamey and fun? And I think, you know, training is one of those things where gamey and fun is just the better option. I don't want a praise all button though, Jack. To me, that's a training review feature that you do as a group. Praise all at once feels like a spam button. I mean, I can see what you're saying, but I think if you're adding loads, like, I don't think you should have to click through these players individually to praise them. You could just have the button be a praise all individuals for their training. You can't even shift click players on this screen, which is just silly. Like, having a praise all individually for training development, that can be different to like a team review thing. I think, again, that's a thing where it's a game and usability needs to be more of a focus. Yeah, they definitely need to get rid of the pop-up screens. Like, the fact they've got rid of this, the youth screen was like a really shitty pop-up, and now it's a full screen. I think that's a good, like, step forward. Like, this one's quite well done, but a few updates ago, chat, they changed, was it this screen? And I think this screen is worse now. I think this screen was better as a pop-up. Is that like a hot take? Like, this screen just has so much space and just looks shit. Like, I mean, this, like, it just doesn't look finished, this screen. Like, this can't be how it looked in the design documents. How many years have I played FM? I've been playing Football Manager since before it was called Football Manager. I played, the first one I played seriously would have been CM 0304. So, 23 years. But I did play it before that, but it didn't really get its talons into me until then. Okay, I'm going to have to play Iber more, which I don't love, but I've got to keep him happy. Favourite ever save? People ask me this a lot. I don't think I have a favourite ever save. It sounds a bit... Okay, this is going to sound a bit pretentious, maybe. I don't mean it to come across that way. But I think when you're a YouTuber and a content creator, you kind of have a different approach of how you play your Football Manager save games. Because in the back of your mind, you know that there's going to come a point where you have to drop the save game and just move on. Like, when you're playing the game for fun, right, chat, you can kind of decide when you want a save game to end. You know, you just decide, oh, I'm done with that one now. I'm going to end it. And just start something new. Whereas when you're a content creator, often when the save game is going to end is dictated by when your audience stops watching or when it hits. Well, most of the time it's when the audience stops watching, to be honest. Like, and for me, that is always part of the Prem always drops off once I'm like in the Champions League and I win the Premier League, and you kind of accept that. And there are people who watch beyond that point. But because I always have to have in the back of my mind that very rarely am I going to end the save game where I would probably choose to end playing it, I have to then be ready to move on to the next save game. Like, I tend to not get overly attached to my save games. Like, to be clear, I am attached and invested to them. But I always have to have in the back of my mind that I'm going to move on to the next one eventually. And I might feel like I've got unfinished business with that save game, but I've got to move on with it because, you know, my audience don't have the same interest that I have in it. But something is weird going on with my player selection. There's definitely a bug where on this screen here I move around players, and for some reason it's only moving them on one of the in or out of possessions, and I'm not sure what's going on there. Is that like a new bug with the latest build of the game? Has anyone else experienced that? I've never had it before playing this version of Football Manager, this latest patch. I played Championship Manager 2010 loads. I don't think I played much Championship Manager when it... Because for people who don't know, Football Manager and Championship Manager were the same game. And then in 2006, 2005, Sports Interactive and Eidos like split up. And Eidos basically took the code for the game and the IP of Championship Manager as it was, and Football Manager took the database. So I went from playing Championship Manager to Football Manager when that switch happened. I don't think I ever played any of the Championship Managers after like CM05 or 04. Were they good? I genuinely don't know. Because the squad view is in possession. Oh, I see what you mean. But is there not a combined one? I've never had that issue before. I've never had any issues doing my tactical changes the way I normally do it. But I'm wondering if that's just because of a weird formation thing. It's definitely not been a problem I've had before. I guess it's just the way I'm having to swap players around with the way I've got the best 11 saved. Let's save out a new best 11. I think I literally just did it, but I'll do it again now so I don't have to move the players around. I do feel like I love the in and out of possession tactics. I do feel like it's still a bit clunky, even like an hour in, even like hundreds of hours in. But there's definitely still times where I accidentally move players on one of these views, even from the tactics screen. But I don't really know if there's a better way to do it. Like, I actually quite like the both view here. But because the UI scaling on FM26 is quite big, like, there's just not enough sufficient detail here. Like, I kind of wish the tactics screen, right, was these two, like, stacked on top of one another. I don't know how small that would have to be to work. It'd probably have to be too small. But you probably don't need, like, the... maybe you do need the stars. But, like, I feel like if the combined view was, like, just two... like, a pitch here and then a pitch below. They could be a lot smaller than these, like have a lot less detail, and then just have a wider table. That would be good. Because I actually feel like the both view is quite nice, but it's just not very usable because this table just doesn't have enough detail. Turn them horizontal. Oh, I don't know if I would like that. I think that would trigger me. Okay, so Mori's still out. We're taking on Matsumoto Yamaga here. And then we have another game coming up almost immediately in the Champions League. I'm going to bring in Hattori. He's not registered for the Champions League, so we'll just play him at right back today. He's left-footed, but he's just going to have to play on the right. He's got a bit of a right foot, so it's fine. I'm going to play Ishikawa. I've got Aiba, who I promised to play more football, and Shimada wants to play more football as well. Chat, if you do set for next match, then change the formation, does it revert the formation back, or does the set for only work for the squad selection? I've actually never tried it. You know what? Let's try it here, because I want to play for this match a 4-2-4. In my head, logically, it should just do it for this match, the formation. But I've never tried it because I've been worried I'd have to recreate the previous formation. We'll find out how it works here. Because I want to play Aiba and Shimada, but neither of them can play as a centre attacking mid. We'll drop Ikeda and Kawai in as well for fitness. And I think we'll call it there. We'll find out. If this reverts back, I'll be pleasantly surprised. Like, I sometimes use that button for this match only, for, like, rotating the team, and then it will flip back. And I quite like it for that, although there was a patch where that functionality broke. But this is one of these weird instances where there's kind of two formations I'm alternating between. Like, they're not that radically different. Like, it's a 4-2-3-1 that becomes a 4-4-2 versus a 4-4-2 that becomes like a 4-2-4. But I need to keep Shimada and Aiba happy because they are actually two pretty good young strikers. There's some things in this game chat where I've changed how I play Football Manager because stuff was like bugged or broken at launch. And it could be fixed, but my behaviour has permanently changed because it was broken before. So I don't know if it's changed. I don't know how I feel about the vertical pitch because I lose track of who's attacking what end when I'm watching it this quickly. I guess the solution is just not to have the pitch visible. I don't know how much I even look at the pitch when I'm playing the game anyway. I guess it's weird, right? Like, as a YouTuber, I need to get through games kind of quickly because I have to play like a decent chunk every day, so I always have it on 40 times speed. Do any of you guys watching like play on a lower in-between highlight speed and actually look at the radar view? Like, if I'm newly trying out a tactic or doing something wild, I might just have it on, just have a preview as to what's actually happening. But I feel like a lot of the people I see play the game, and obviously when I see people play the game, it's generally other creators, like, they just have the in-between highlight speed cranked up to the max. And because of that, there's not much you can see from this anyway. I feel like I'm a dog watching TV. I've just realised the lines on linking players about how well they play together only shows on the in-possession, out-of-possession screens, but not the combined. It's weird, right? The tactics screen, I think this might be an unpopular take. I think this is one of the worst things in this year's Football Manager. I think the instructions and the way they work versus how they used to work is a travesty. And I think it's clearly something that was designed to be functional on controller and PC. And I think it's one of those areas where it definitely compromises the keyboard and mouse experience. It's probably the worst offender for that. And I feel like the instructions are awful. I fucking hate this. And then there's something about this tactics screen which just doesn't mesh with me. The in and out possession tactics and the combined them both. Like, I feel like you have to kind of learn how to use this. Does that make sense? Like, did everyone... I don't know if it's just me. I felt like there was a real process I went through and, like, whole, like, experience you go through to work out how this works and kind of visualize it and understand how moving players around and then remember to go to combine to swap them. I feel like there's got to be a better way to do it, but I don't know what the better way to do it is. This game is 0-0. I don't really want to make changes for the sake of it, but I need to protect Williams because of his injury, so we'll take him off at half-time. Wok's in the chat. Hello, your dog hasn't pooped. Keep an eye out later, thanks. Oh, excellent. Wok, are you still in the chat now? I heard him barking outside. Did he see a fox or something? Or what was he barking at? I'm going to tell the players I'm pleased. I shouldn't have said that. I thought, like, you know, drawing against Matsumoto Yamaga was an okay result, but apparently I should be getting shouty. A man appeared behind you. Oh. Like a scary man and the dog was doing protection, or... I don't really know what the solution is for the in-and-out possession tactics, like UI. Because I feel like in general... Like, the actual system is great. I think it's got good tactical flexibility. Like, I kind of regret not experimenting with the tactics system more and trying more wacky stuff. I think one of the reasons I've avoided it and not done more of that is because the UI is just kind of unpleasant. Like, mostly the instruction stuff. The instructions I really don't like this year. And I never really liked it from when I first played. I don't know if it's me being stubborn, not getting used to it, or if it is actually bad. Oh my word. That is such a good goal, but it's offside. I really adjust instructions because of how unpleasant it is to use. Yeah, John, I don't like it either. I feel like... The thing I liked about the old system, right, is it was kind of broken down into, like, build... I kind of understand why now they have to have in and out possession instructions, right? That kind of makes sense. But before they had, like, other subcategories, didn't they? Like, there was one that was, like, approach play. I can't remember what the other ones were. And the thing I liked about it was you could, like, see all the options available to you at once. And, like, you could, like, go in and change... Like, because the issue right now is you kind of change your tempo here, then go back and change your directness. Then you go back and change something else. And because you're having to change everything by clicking on this screen or cycling through these annoyingly small, like, dotted arrow bits, I sometimes lose track of what changes I've made. Oh, in transition, that was another one, Frank. Thank you for the shout. Like, the instruction system is just very unpleasant. Like, it's just not good. I miss the visual element as well. You know, you tell your player... I feel like having a slider that you slide for how wide you want the team to play is a lot more intuitive than, like, cycling through a carousel of buttons. And equally, right, on stuff like... there's goalie distribution here. Like this. Like they've updated this now to be more like what it should be like. Where it's visual. I've always said this should be more visual. I didn't even know they'd updated this in the latest version. Is this an update in the most recent patch? Like, you always lost a bit of the tactileness of, like, click. It's quite intuitive to click wide on a football pitch for it to be wide. It looks like they've kind of done this now, because obviously this is like how your starting 11 is. But without a pitch that this is overlaid on, it's a bit weird. I mean, at least they're listening, because that is something that I've kind of flagged repeatedly. I'm sure other people have mentioned that as well. That is one of the worst offenders, where it used to just be a sequence of boxes, like 5 options for, like, the different widths, rather than it kind of being a more visual experience. that is way more intuitive to interact with. Oh, look at that, chat. They've done it for underlaps and overlaps. Well, I still find it mental, by the way, right, that on the all instruction screen, supporting runs, you can only change the underlapping instructions using these bits here. You have to physically click into this to know that there is the underlap and overlap instructions. Like, I don't understand why these aren't two separate things. Like, there should be underlapping supporting runs and overlapping supporting runs, if you're going to do it this way. The only reason they don't have it as two separate things is because they've run out of space. And to add another one, they'd have to add another line or make it wider and it would look awful. Like, this is so unintuitive. Because supporting runs, like, I don't even think you'd know that this is underlapping just by looking at it. The fact that they're updating some of that stuff, so I did not know that they changed the distribution stuff and the underlapping and overlapping button-like layout. That makes me hope that that is part of a larger set of changes where we'll have more instructions on like individual screens to change more intuitively, rather than clicking in and out of everything. How have we drawn that game 0-0, by the way? I mean, yeah, to be fair, the tactics thing should just not be a pop-up, should it? Thing is, it was a pop-up last year in FM and I didn't hate it then. Well, what was it, a pop-up? It was like a slidey out thing, wasn't it? Where you'd click instructions. And I mean, this is not like a far removed... This isn't that different to what we had before. But like the way that this screen should work for me, chat, is you have like in possession, you'd probably have like two categories. You have in possession and out of possession. And with in possession, you'd have like builder, well, approach play, transition, and there was another one that existed. Like you'd have subcategories. I don't feel like this is very intuitive. Like, there's not many times where I would change instructions by clicking on the pitch. Like the way in which these are grouped up should probably just be grouped up by some tabs at the top. And then when you change the tabs at the top, it also changes the highlighting here. Because I find very often I want to change stuff across multiple bits here. And so with that in mind, it's always easier to be able to see all the options. I mean, the fact they're still changing stuff gives me hope. Like, clearly they are listening. Oh, chat. Nagora have made an offer of 1.2 million for my backup keeper. Now, Masuda might have mad potential. And he is good. But 5 jumping reach, 5 aerial reach. Am I ever actually going to use him? The thing is, like, he could be good. I just don't like small keepers, and 1.2 million's a lot. But then again, I don't need 1.2 million pounds right now. His contract is expiring. There's a few players who I definitely need to get signed to new deals. In fact, I should probably do that, like, sooner rather than later. I missed Masuda because he was demoted down in the youth team. I want to give Williams a new deal, but he's been injured so much this year that I kind of don't want to give it to him just yet because he's using a very important foreign player spot. And if he keeps getting injured, I can probably get a better player in. Keita is okay, but he wanted a lot of money when I tried to negotiate with him before. He's actually changed his demands. He wanted to be like a regular first-team player before. Part of me feels like I should give him a new deal. Part of me looks at him and thinks, he's my 4th choice centre-back. Will I just be able to get in a better 4th choice next year? And I probably will. Oh, Socrates, believe me, like, I'm very aware of how the UI used to work in Football Manager. Like, I've sent multiple dossiers I don't, dossier sounds so like pretentious. I have sent a lot of like documentation with lots of written feedback to Football Manager like earlier on this year, which was requested from me. Like I did a big write-up that I sent regarding user interface stuff. Bizarrely, some of that stuff I think has been put in this patch and I wasn't aware of it. Like I did a big write-up, and this was one of the loss of kind of visual user interface was one of my big gripes. Because before this was just like loads of different options, like 5 options listed, and you kind of lost that visual element. Like this does not need to be this big. Like this thing here, you could have multiple instructions all at once. Like, it shouldn't be a pop-up anyway. I have a feeling that because they're killing all pop-ups in the game, they're probably redoing the instruction screen anyway. Ireland club OFI Crete just beat PAOK tonight in the Greek Cup to win the first major piece of silverware in over 40 years. Love that. Well, are they like a top division team? I can't say I've heard of OFI Crete with respect to, you know, the lovely location of Crete. Is Crete an island? I'm pretty sure it's an island. I think their initial idea was to have the field of play be animated like they've got on other tactical screens. I'm not sure. I think that the user interface they have right now was just made because it works on console and mouse well. Because one of the worst screens to use on a controller in past Football Manager consoles was the tactics screen. Because of the layout was just not ever designed with controller in mind. And basically in this game, they clearly designed the tactics screen around it being functional for controller and PC. And I say functional in the sense of it actually works rather than it being intuitive. They're just above middle of the road in the Greek table but lost the final last year. Oh, I love that. It's quite fun when like a team not at the top of a nation wins the kind of cup game, like a cup. I always enjoy it, you know, like when the FA Cup winners is not like one of the usual suspects. And it's like a team where like that is the highlight of their season. Right. I think I've got to play Kyoto over at Ishikawa. Yeah, Southampton today would have been nice, wouldn't it? I was saying earlier, chat, I didn't see the fact Southampton were ahead until it was already 1-1. I didn't get the 2 minutes of hope. What's crazy is I've not dipped into FN26 for a while, looked at it, playing it again, looked at some content creators, and we're still discussing UI and bugs. I mean, the thing is, the UI is making progress. But there is just glaring issues still that need to be solved. Southampton Leeds would have been, yeah, to be fair, Southampton Leeds would have been like the people's final. I would have been all about that. I feel like I've not had everyone fit in ages. When is Diaco back? Diaco played for us and we won our first 2 games of him playing. He got an assist, or he got 2 assists to the goal, then he got injured and we've not... Have we not won in the league since? We're taking on Beijing here, by the way, chat. We're taking on Chinese teams. We're so back. This is where we began this save game. To be fair, the base FM24 UI was awful too. Oh, for sure. The thing is, though, I feel like people were just used to it. And so it was functional because of that. Like, the tricky thing with the old UI was they had to make it like work on so many different resolutions. Like, there's a reason why so many custom skins only work at like larger reses rather than like people running 800 by 600 resolution. But like stuff like the tactics UI, chat, why is the league table positions all out of whack? Did you see that? One day they'll finish the game. Maybe FM28. I feel like this might be a hot take. I actually don't hate the general UI principles of FM26. The Venerable Goody, mate, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're well, mate. I can see where in like a few years' time, once they get rid of all the pop-ups and redesign some screens that just don't work, it probably will be pretty good. Like, I think in general that Football Manager looks quite good in videos this year. Like, the UI works quite good for video content. Especially with, like, some nice transitions and a bit of, you know, zooming in on relevant bits. Like, it definitely looks better. It's just functionally, it's just not quite there yet. Did I keep my England winger? We have still got Ethan Williams chilling at the team. Also, we bloody scored. I should celebrate the wins more. Cato, you beautiful man. Cato is the most underrated player who my staff just don't give a good rating to. And I think he's an absolute baller. Also, they've copied my homework. They're literally playing the same formation as us. Well, out of possession they are. Have they copied me? Okay, you know what? It's a bit different. I'll give them some credit. David Raya carrying my FPL with 10 points. Oh, I have Raya in my team. I'm trying to catch up with my brother-in-law. I say brother-in-law. He's not married to my sister, but they're dating. My sister's boyfriend. He's top of the FPL league. Played my free hit this week because I used a few transfers last week to stack the double game week. And I looked at my team and thought, this is good. And then I looked at his team and it's just the same as mine. I'm there going, well, he's got Raya. He's got Gabriel. He's got Declan Rice. He's got Bruno Fernandes, captain. Like, whether or not I catch up with him comes down to will Thiago and Mbuemo outperform Cunha. That's basically what my entire game week on catching him hinges on now. Okay, we're 2-0 up. Is that 2 set pieces, by the way? Can I give you a summary of this career mode so far? Sure. So it's a Hexagon challenge. We're trying to win the 6 Champions Leagues of world football. We started unemployed with no coaching badges. Our first job in management was with a second division team in China that had just been relegated, but didn't look all that good. We took over them and got them promoted back to the Chinese Super League, but I didn't have any money to reinvest, and I figured that it would take a long time of slumming it out in China to get anywhere. So I resigned as manager and went to New Zealand, where Auckland City, who are one of the big teams in New Zealand, had an opportunity. We managed them, but for our first season, they'd missed out on Champions League football, so we couldn't play it right away. In the second season, we played in the Oceanic Champions League with them, so that was like the 3rd season of our career, and we managed to win the Oceanic Champions League. We then spent kind of the next 5 or 6 months like weighing up job options whilst just staying in New Zealand and winning games. We also won the top flight of New Zealand while we were there. And then in season 4, we came here to Iwata. They were in the relegation zone in the 2nd division of Japan. We kept them up quite comfortably in the end. And then last season, we were in the 2nd division of Japan where we won it, and then we managed to win the equivalent of the Japanese FA Cup. It's called the Emperor's Cup. And by winning that, we qualified for the Champions League as a 2nd division team, which is actually something that happened very recently in real life, where Ventforet Kofu, who were a 2nd division Japan team, qualified for the Asian Champions League by winning the cup. In their season, they didn't even get promoted. So this season, we've just entered the top flight of Japan. It's been a bit of a struggle, to be honest, but we're also in the Asian Champions League, where we won our first game against an Indonesian side. We're currently battering Beijing here, and it's looking promising to get out the group stage. And as for the J1 situation, I think if we get top half, I'll be happy. We've had a lot of issues with injuries to start the year to like key foreign players. You're only allowed 5 foreign players in the match squad in Japan, so that's been a bit problematic. But in the Champions League, we look like we're competent, and that's basically where the save game's at. So we've got 1 Champions League under our belt. It's the Oceanic one. This is our first season ever playing in a, like, I don't want to say a proper Champions League, but you know, not the Oceanic one where the New Zealand teams just win every year. And it's also our first time managing in like a kind of proper top flight. We did actually just get a job offer today from the 4th place team in Korea. So that kind of gives me hope that our manager reputation is kind of being built up, which is promising. As a Brentford fan, I hate to tell you, but Thiago will do nothing on Monday night. That's okay with me, Daz. I don't have him. My sister's boyfriend has Thiago and Mbuemo. I've only got Cunha to cover them off. How are our badges? We got some really good coaching badges to begin with when we were in China because the team had loads of money. But since I left China at the end of the first season, I don't think we've got a coaching badge since. We managed to get 3 coaching courses done. I probably should look at doing another. Chat, remind me after this game to ask again. I work in a school and we have a school-wide fantasy league for the staff and kids. The double game week and Gibbs White, triple captain, carry me from 24th to 10th. Oh, chat, I tell you what. I love school fantasy football. Years ago, this was before FPL was like particularly big. There was a physics teacher at my school. He was a nice bloke. He was a Hull City fan, bless him. But he did a school-wide fantasy football. But you know how he did it? You weren't allowed to do any transfers. You had to submit your team at the start of the year. And you would submit your team. And then every week on a Monday, he'd put an updated spreadsheet outside his office of like where everyone had placed and how many points they got that last game week. I guess he had a spread, like some kind of automated system where he had everyone's teams they submit. And he had like 100 kids teams, like 100 like staff and kids teams. They were all submitted at the start of the year. And he'd update it, and because this was like before FPL was like massive, you wouldn't really know how well your fantasy football team had done, so it was always quite fun on a Monday at lunchtime wandering down to his office to see if you'd climbed up or down the league. Like, it was actually quite a cool thing that he just did in his free time. He was the kind of teacher, you know the teacher at school who, when you were in your lower years, he was a bit scary and a bit shouty, and you probably thought he was a bit of a knobhead. But then you realise he just hated teaching the younger years, and actually he's quite chill. And once you're no longer a screaming child, like he's just like sound bloke. I feel like every school has a few teachers like that, and he was one of them. And you kind of realise that actually when he shouts at the lower years, he's not actually that angry with them. I think he kind of enjoys them being a bit scared of him. Do I only have each continent's leagues loaded at the time, or do I have a massive database? I've got a massive database. Yeah, I've not got... It's not that big. I've got kind of 3 or 4 leagues for every continent loaded. I've been quite selective over the leagues I've got loaded. It's like the leagues that I'm most likely to manage in to win a Champions League there. Chat, I really need to just send my assistant for all of these going forward. I can't be bothered to do them. I don't know what typically is the amount of points needed in the Champions League Elite to go through. If I look at past seasons, probably better to look at the East group as well. So if you get 8 points, you're probably safe. 8 points wasn't enough a few years, actually. 9 points wasn't enough for Gambaro Saka. 9 points. Okay, so historically, chat, you need 10 points to make it out the league stage. We've got 6 points after 2 games. So in our next 6 games, we need a win and a draw, and we're probably through. We've got Central Coast Mariners and Melbourne Victory to play in Seoul. Jeonbuk and Ulsan and Seoul Eland. I think Seoul Eland are probably the weakest of those teams. I think we've had our easy games early. I think Central Coast Mariners and Melbourne Victory might not be that easy, although there is a salary cap in Australia, which I think makes it difficult for those like teams to be competitive. Where are those teams early doors? That probably makes the most sense to look at. Okay, Seoul... Actually, when you look at it, there's only 2 teams. There's only 3 teams that have lost their first 2 games, and we've played both of them, like 2 of the 3. So I think our remaining games are going to be a bit tougher. There's not that many draws. In fact, has there not been a single draw yet? Did I read that right, or did I misread that? Has there not been a single draw? This could be a really high point-scoring season. There's been no draws through a lot of games. Like 12 games, no draws across the first 2 game weeks. That's kind of wild. That might push the average points total up. Might need 11 points. Oh, coaching badges. Thank you. I would have forgotten that as well. Right. Now, someone said, and I don't know how true this is, but we can try it. If you go to training, is it under training or is it under staff? Coaching assignments. Okay, there's already... If I take myself off these things, so I'm no longer contributing to training, apparently that makes it more likely the board will let you do your coaching badges. I don't know if that's true. I asked for them last season twice and the board said no. If I ask for it now and they say yes, chat, that is a brand new Football Manager conspiracy theory that we are starting. When am I going to be told? I probably should rest at the players as well. Okay, Masuda signed that new contract. That's good. That's an annoying injury. I've not had, like, a period without one of my better attacking midfielders being out for 2 months. The board have turned down my request. The conspiracy theory didn't work. Hold down A when throwing a Pokeball type of rumour. In my school chat, it was hold B and then press left and right as the ball wiggled either side. Chat, at your school, what was the rumour to help you catch Pokemon? Welcome, work. We understand you'd like to discuss your recent request. It'd be beneficial for the club to allow me to take a coaching course. We'd like to be able to grant your request, but the club can't afford you to be regularly absent from training at the moment. I don't have any assignments. I don't have any assignments. I can't stress how important I believe this to be. Your protest won't change anything. I thought the board would show ambition. That's unfair. We'll be left behind by our biggest rivals. Why can I just want to be educated. Am I in an abusive relationship? Our actual manager stuff, considering we started with the worst possible manager, we're like nothing. Actually, we did have a little bit of stuff because I made myself a pundit. Like at the lowest level, because, you know, content creator, basically a pundit. Like, we have actually like built up a pretty decent little rep for ourselves. We've only got our national A. I do like it when your biography looks quite fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of a save game, it's always nice to look at your biography. I don't know how much winning the Emperor's Cup helped with our manager rep. I nearly hit the accident. Chat, I'll be honest. Did you guys see me really read it carefully when I was making the request then? I was very paranoid of the accidental resignation. Is Diaco back yet? No, he's still out for 3 weeks. Chat, I feel like I've played so many games today, and I have played a lot of games today. We've played 10, but I've only actually played like 5 weeks in game. We've had like 2 games a week constantly. We've got Gamba Osaka today. They're top, I believe. No, okay, they've dropped down to 3rd. They're basically top. We've actually got a game in hand on them, but we're way off the pace. Kashima Antlers down in 18th is wild. Now, chat, I've got to be honest with you. Kashima Antlers are my team in Japan. They finished 5th last year. They finished 2nd a couple of years before. What happened this year? What happened? If they sacked their manager, I'd be... but we're in the Champions League. It's the kind of thing where if the job came up at the end of the year, you might be tempting me. How many times have I accidentally resigned? Only once! But for some reason, everyone bloody remembers it. Kashima Antlers have like a very fun affinity with Brazilian players. They've just lost again. They might actually sack their manager. But yeah, Kashima Antlers have had many pretty well-known Brazilians play for them over the years. I praised Vargas and he did not like me praising him. My apology. I won't praise you anymore, mate. Sorry. It might be a hot take, chat. I think the Japanese Football League has one of the highest average qualities for like the football badges. I don't know if that's a weird statement to make. I think some of them are hideous, like in an awful way, but in general, like I feel like the badges are just quite nice. Like, there's a few that are super modern, but lots of them feel like very classic football badge. Like the Cerezo Osaka one, it looks like a fancy school's like emblem on a badge. Do you know what I mean? It looks like a coat of arms. I don't know how I feel about the new FC Tokyo badge. I feel like I like it, but I don't know why. I think I'm meant to hate it, and it's probably a badge that a lot of people would hate, but I actually think it looks quite cool. Is that unpopular? It's like modern art. I think you love it or you hate it, and there's no in between. Still watch that clip a lot in the Streamer Showdown. Is there any plans to bring it back? We don't even have a draft mode at the moment in Football Manager. I think that's the biggest shame with Football Manager this year, right? Is the fact that there's just not really a good multiplayer mode that you can drop in and out of with people. And multiplayer itself has had like a lot of performance issues. I think a lot of those have been addressed, although I don't know for certain. Like I think Football Manager, right, chat, in one of their patch notes said, we'll have more news on modes. They said like modes plural. And I don't know if I'm clinging onto the copium. Did people see that? There was like a thing where Football Manager said, we've got more news on modes coming soon. I think it was around one of the winter transfer like updates that they put out. And when I saw them say modes, I was like, draft mode, ? Or creator club mode? Because they've said there's going to be a Football Manager World Cup this year, right, with FIFA. We have to assume that one of the modes that they're talking about is like international football and like something to do with the World Cup. But right now, the game doesn't really have like an e-sporty mode that would work for the World Cup that they announced. Which admittedly, they've not announced anything about it, even though they said they'd announced something by now. So maybe that plan has changed with the state of the game. But I don't know. I would love draft mode to come back sooner rather than later. I feel like draft mode would be fun if you could like trade picks during the draft. Like if you follow any American sports where draft picks can be traded, it's always quite fun when there's like swaps happening. Or if you could like swap players midway through the draft, like midway through the draft mode season. I feel like stuff like that makes draft mode a bit more interactive would be fun. I feel like as a creator, right, draft mode's big. One of my favourite things about draft mode is actually the drafting process and like, you know, chatting with other streamers and just kind of hanging out and picking the teams. But I feel like to make it like an accessible game where people want to just drop in and out of with mates, like the drafting needs to be a bit quicker so you get to the matches quicker. I don't really know how you would do it. Like, I don't know if you can make the picks shorter or people have to like queue up their picks or like an auction system. I've played like some games where, you know, like you do like a blind auction chat where you kind of put a maximum bid in. I think I've done that for fantasy football before. I don't know if anyone else has done anything like that. I don't know if that would even work because that takes more prep, potentially. Also, we're a goal down against Gamba Osaka. I don't want to talk about it. Chat, our league form is awful. My FM27 wishlist chat is draft mode, creator club mode, and you know the old challenges they used to have? I used to love those. I'd love it if within like the database editor, we could like have a challenge creation wizard. Like you could like set up like a really like difficult save game where it's like 8 games left and you're like 10 points from safety at the bottom of the Premier League, and then you could share it with people to try the challenge. Or it could be like a challenge where you've got no goalkeepers fit and you've only got like a youth team. Do you know what I mean? Like some kind, like in the same way we have a database editor, like a scenario editor would be really cool for Football Manager for like short-term challenges. There's so many ideas I have for Football Manager. The reality is they need to get the base game sorted out before they do anything else. Like, please stop adding new shit and just get the what we know as Football Manager from FM24 to like that level in Unity. My biggest worry with FM27 is like there's this pressure to add loads of... That's an insane finish. There's this pressure to add a load of new stuff. They don't address like the elephant in the room, which is the fact that stuff just doesn't quite work. Oh, this goal was so good. This goal. I've always thought it'd be kind of fun if you could save like a match midway through and share it. Like F1 Manager had this feature where you could save a race mid-race and then load it back up. And it was quite fun because you could like have a scenario that happens in a race where maybe both your drivers crashed at the start and were in like, you know, last and second to last. Then you could save it, then share that save game and say to people, try and win the race or try and do as well as possible. I've always liked the idea of doing like a Football Manager Taskmaster, but I think that would work way better if it was possible to like have a state mid-match that like you load into for certain challenges. Like you could have a save where you're Man City v Bury and you're 5-0 up at half-time as Man City, and the challenge is lose by as many goals as possible in the second half. And then you see like different creators try to like make the worst tactic possible with Man City that could like win the game or rather lose the game. But you could set up in a way whereby the bench is just full of Erling Haaland clones. There's not like shitters to bring on at half time. Also, I've just done a dog shite team talk. What's the skin? It's called Control Watto. Or Joe. I should call you Joe. Or Watto. It could be both. If you download the FM Skin Builder, if you just Google FM Skin Builder, you can install skins from the app. That's the best way to do it. Is it not me, or do you feel like wingbacks are way better than wingers at the moment? By personality, prefer playing with wingbacks, but having them fly makes them way more dangerous. Wingers are pretty good. I use wingers in my Part to Prem save game. I think wingers, the winger role actually is the worst role in Football Manager in terms of the naming is very deceptive. I don't know if people know this, right, chat. The winger role changed last year in Football Manager. Not last year, FM24. The winger role is actually not like what you probably think of a winger as being. It's kind of silly. The winger role is actually quite a vanilla wide player role. It's essentially like a bit of a default role, a bit like a centre mid on support would have been in past Football Managers. The winger role, it's completely unlocked in terms of instructions. It used to be that as a winger, you could never tell the player to cut inside. That limitation was removed like for FM24. When you see the winger role, like you actually need, in my opinion, you need to change individual instructions to get it to do stuff that's effective. Because it's basically the default for everything if you just use it without anything else. And I think it doesn't really encourage it to excel at anything. Because I think if I said to you the winger role in Football Manager, you probably actually think, oh, the winger role, well, that'll be a player that runs wide with the ball. That's probably a player who dribbles often with the ball. And that's probably a player who makes more runs going forward. At least as an attacking midfielder, which this player is on the left side. None of that is the case by default. Which I kind of feel like there should be a winger role where some of this stuff is active, and actually there should be a wide midfielder role, which is what the winger currently is. So if you're struggling to get the winger role to work, have a look at the instructions available and see which of these you might want to change. Because the reason you might find that a wing back is more effective is because it's got some of the stuff that you expect a winger to have active and you don't realise it doesn't have it. So, yeah, that's definitely worth considering. If you're playing wingers and you feel like they're not doing anything, that's probably why. It's one of those things where I don't know if people know that that's the case either. Like, that role changed quite a lot. Because it is just a bit countering. I don't think it's immediately, like, obvious that that would be the case. You have the channel forward on the left side, because otherwise the inside forward and him are going to occupy the same space. Okay, Williams plays right. I'm changing it for the in possession here. What am I doing? Undo, undo. Williams on the right. Okamura comes in. Kato off Ikeda. I need a goal chat in the last 20 minutes. Go more direct and up the tempo. I mean, at this point, we've got to try and win the ball and see what we can do. I feel like I should do like more guide videos for Football Manager. I told myself I was going to do loads of guides for brand new players with FM24. Sorry, with FM26, and I didn't. Partially because I felt like the reception to the game meant there wasn't going to be loads of new people play the game. But also because the game was so radically different and new, I was worried if I rushed stuff out, like, about, like, different aspects of the game, it might just be wrong or incorrect because the game is quite radically different. But I think for FM27, that might be something I look to do more of. Because there's some really good guides out there, but I think sometimes they're a bit too inaccessible unless you already watch football and kind of understand like core principles of football. And like you almost have they're built on the understanding that you've probably already played 100 hours of Football Manager and quite not figured stuff out yet. I think the weird thing with guides is a lot of people who've played Football Manager will play it differently to one another. Like, Football Manager is one of the few games I know of where I think there's like 50 different ways to play the game, like varying details for different stuff. Like, if you were to look through people's responsibilities and what they assign to their staff, for a lot of people, it's going to be quite radically different. Like, there'll be people who swear by micromanaging individual training and team training, and then there'll be the people who just delegate all of that stuff. And you can kind of be successful with either of those. So I always feel like with guides, like it's kind of about saying, hey, this is how I play the game and how things work for me. But that's not to say that's the only way to play the game. Right. Okay, we've got a non-league game next. I think we might wrap things up there for today, chat, because we've been live for 3 hours. And I've got to be up early in the morning going to the beach. Beach day with the dog for his birthday. So he's going to enjoy the sea, enjoy probably a puppuccino and living things up, but I'd rather not be streaming too late and then just be miserable all day when the dog's being a knobhead. Okay, gang, I really appreciate you hanging out today. It's been a fun one. Yeah, I'm enjoying this save game again. You know, it's always weird when you go away from playing a Football Manager save game for a bit and come back. Admittedly, our league form is absolutely dire. We've not won in 6, which is probably a concern because we are now slipping down to 14th. But in the Champo, we're doing fine. I'm kind of hoping that once the schedule eases up, because we're playing a lot of games at the moment, like things will get a bit better. Like, we've played, 7 games in the space of 3 weeks there, and then 2 weeks into this month, we've already played another 4. So that should get easier. I think that will help us a lot. Anyway, gang, I'm going to leave things there. Really appreciate you guys hanging out today. I need to go and get the dog to do a poo. So that's going to be a fun challenge for me tonight before I go to bed. Yeah, have a lovely weekend. We will be back very early next week with more streams. I'm trying to think. It's Champions League next week, isn't it? Is there any Monday night football this week? There is. Oh, yeah, there is. United play Brentford. Maybe we'll do a watch-along stream of that. Maybe we'll try something different. That could be kind of fun. We'll see what the vibes are. Anyway, I'm going to leave things there. I keep saying that, and then I find a new tangent to go off on. I'm just going to hit the outro button. Then I can't ramble away. There might be a stream tomorrow evening. I don't think there will be. I've not done Monday's part to Prem yet. We'll figure it out. Chat, when has there ever been a plan? I don't know. I appreciate you all watching today. Have a lovely, lovely evening. I'll see you all soon. Take it easy, folks.